I'm your wife, not your mom. My wife always says this to me and I don't know how to respond. How can I make her see my side? Well, let's find out. This comes from user Onikem, who says, hey everyone. So my wife, 32 female, and I, 34 male, have been together for about 18 years.
A while.
Long time, but have been arguing recently about the responsibilities within our marriage, and we can't seem to agree. I work full time and my wife is a stay-at-home mother. We have 2 children. One is in school full time and the other one goes to preschool 2.5 days a week. Recently, my wife has been sending me the stupid TikToks that say, your wife is your partner, not your mom. Gotta love those random TikToks, I guess.
We love when TikTok exposes the fragility of your marriage.
Gotta love it. And essentially, it boils down to men should help around the house, help with the kids, and pick up after themselves. And as a sentiment, I generally agree with. Let's see where OP's head's at. This usually comes with a side of you don't value what I do to look after the kids and plan everything, etc., etc. Now, to be clear, I am not against helping out around the house and helping the kids to get to bed, brush their teeth, and cook meals. I do help with this stuff every day. I feel like all I do is work because the second I finish work, I have kids to help with because she has had them all day, quote unquote. My position.
So he is helping out.
He is helping out. And it seems that
according to him,
she takes care of him during the day. He goes to work and then he comes home and she's like, take the kids now. I've had them all day. My position is, OP says, that she is right when she says kids are work, and I can appreciate that after a day of being with them all day, she's probably tired of the kids. But I have also been at work all day too, and it isn't fair to expect me to be a sole parent as soon as I'm finished. Then there is the issue of housework. Our house is always a mess, which frustrates me when she complains about having to do all the unpaid labor of managing a household and looking after the kids. Do they split the finances? That would be crazy.
Like in terms of
OP earns a living and gives his wife nothing.
No, I imagine they have like a shared bank account.
I would imagine so. Because from my perspective, I go to work in a messy house and I finish work in a messy house. I work from home, go into my office for 8 hours, only coming out for the occasional coffee or snack, which means that 90% of my mess is contained to a room only I go in. Most days while I'm at work, she isn't even home.
What's she doing?
That's the question. Is there a conspiracy theory? ICU.
Cheating. She's cheating.
That is a conspiracy theory. I feel that I am holding up my end of the bargain by working full time and then helping out with housework and the kids outside of that. But she isn't holding up her end of it by looking after the house and kids while I'm at work.
I wonder if those are these roles made explicit.
That is a great question.
Because I feel like implicit roles can quickly turn into like secret grudges held against each other.
Exactly.
You make the implicit explicit. I think it makes things better.
And I think now the wife is letting the TikToks speak for her. And she's like, I do not agree with the way that this is split up. I could understand that she wouldn't get as much done around the house on days when our youngest is home, but on days where she is at preschool, she takes it as an opportunity to quote unquote have a break and go shopping with her mom or go visit a friend. Whenever I bring this up or question how much effort she's putting in, I get, you don't appreciate me and I am not your mother. I'm not saying that she should be waiting on me hand and foot as my personal maid, cook, and stall. Not that we ever have. Damn.
Oh, I'm sensing problems.
Yeah.
I'm sensing some problems.
I'm
sensing some resentment. I'm sensing that the problems are deeper than the TikToks.
I think it is deeper than TikTok.
It is not the TikToks. It's not this one thing. There's systemic things.
Follow for more of this juice. Because I'm the man and bringing home the bacon. I really hope I don't come across that way in the post, as that is really not what I am saying. But I am killing myself trying to do everything, yet am being told I am the problem for treating her like my mother because I am expecting her to do her part, which, quick question, what exactly is she meaning when I am not your mom? Oh, like
I think like cleaning up after you and stuff. But
cleaning up.
If it sounds like she's not having to clean up after him. That would be a different thing.
Yes, I think she's saying cleaning up after him is cleaning up all the shared spaces that they all live in. Like, I don't want to clean all of this stuff. I am not your mom. Yes, that makes sense. But I'm killing myself trying to do everything, yet am being told I'm the problem for treating her like my mother because I'm expecting her to do her part. What can I do to help her see my side? And there is an update. But to answer the question, what can he do? Help us at your side.
I think we have an issue of not knowing what the roles are.
Yes.
I think the roles are implicit. It's maybe like just defaulted to what the stereotypical gender roles are.
Yes.
And so I think you have to have a sit down talk and say like, hey, like, what am I bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? How can we make sure our home feels like our home and feels the best based on like what we both can do for.
Like, for instance, there is 2.5 days where the youngest is at school. Could she take like one of those days? What do you think?
I'm just not sure where you're going with this.
She could take like one of those days, to go visit friends and whatever else. Maybe the other days could help chip in with some other stuff. Like, I feel like there is some sort of middle ground here where they can come together. Then maybe OP can on some days take the kids after work, but then other days not take the kids after work.
It sounds like he is taking the kids after work all the time.
As of right now, yes. But there seems to be a middle ground that is completely unventured.
And it feels like the main thing that he has upset with is the state of the house in terms of its cleanliness.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. But
also the kids after work too.
Is he mad about that?
He said,
I didn't get the sense that he was upset about that.
He said
maybe he's resentful about that.
I think it's just that because
it felt like he was saying like, hey, like, don't you guys worry. I'm also helping take care of the kids. Like, I'm not just being a neglectful father. It felt like he was saying that more from a defensive point than an offensive point.
My interpretation was he's like, I love the kids, but sometimes I'm tired after work too. The same way that like, she's like, I'm tired after a day of watching them. And he's like, I'm tired after a day of work.
Right.
At times. But yeah, I think, my interpretation was he does enjoy the kids and everything, but like, hey, maybe it's not totally fair to that we both do work. Yeah. They both have their respective works. And then he has to sometimes.
And ultimately, you just have to agree on what you're both are going to do.
That's, I think, the big thing.
It is completely okay for a stay-at-home mom to not clean.
Yes.
If that is what is agreed upon.
Exactly.
If you have like someone to help clean the house, then that is okay. What's not okay is not communicating what those rules are.
Let's get off of TikTok and sit down at the table.
Sit down at the table and communicate.
Talk it out.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm about to talk
my
out?
Communication is through TikTok and memes.
My creators get me so well, though.
My love language is DMing my hubby TikToks.
Yes. Don't hate on my love language. But I am going to give you the language of that this update.
Which is Reddit. Reddit is my love language.
That is true. So, update number 1. So a lot of people are saying that we need to sit down, smart people, and trying to look at things as a team. And I am totally on board for this approach and will let you know how it goes. Also, a few people dislike my framing of helping as it's my responsibility. Also, I agree. I use the term helping as that's the word that she uses when she says I need to do more to help around the house. Another lot of you either can't read or are refusing to believe that I actually parent my own children. I wake them up in the morning, make them breakfast every day. I get them dressed every day, take them to school 2 or 3 days a week. I know their teachers, all of their friends, and their friends' parents' names. I know all their doctors, their allergies. None, thankfully. Well, I guess none of their allergies. Great job. But still, I digress. I bathe them, I get their PJs on and read them the same goddamn bed story every night for weeks because they don't want any of the books we have. They want George the Giant. I draw with them, play games with them, know their favorite Disney princesses and favorite superheroes. As for the household, I do the laundry and load the dishwasher. I cook my own lunches and tidy up after myself. I iron, I fold, and put away the laundry and pick up the toys and tidy their playroom. I hover at the weekend and take them to their kid parties. I also do all the chores that my wife won't do because I'm the man, like taking out the bins, cleaning the car, mowing the grass, and fixing anything that breaks.
So what is she doing?
It is not as explicit and laid out as that. We can say that much for sure. She is watching the kids throughout the day. I think it is unclear how much, if maybe at all, of the housework, cleaning and stuff. I just get the sense that there is still some housework left to be done at the end of the day. And she's like, I want to take off now that I've been watching the kids and like managing the house all day.
I think it just needs to be roles. I think it just needs to be roles.
We need to split stuff up.
I feel like she feels like she's doing too much and it feels like OP feels like he's doing too much.
We need to come together and see like maybe there's one thing that the dad like loves doing that she hates doing.
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Talk and figure
Freaking
it out.
talk to each other.
Yes. And so that was update number 1 was OP basically saying, I do stuff.
Yeah.
I do stuff. And now we are doing this update, which might have big, juicy details. We will find out. So I arranged for the in-laws to have the kids Friday night. Me and the wife sat down and had a talk.
Good.
A long
communication.
talk.
Let's go.
This is good. Probably one of the deepest and hardest talks we've ever had in our 18 years.
Whoa.
Do we think this is divorce or not?
I don't think so, but I feel like the stuff is going to come up.
That's true. Good point. Because he threw a very salty
You feel the salty stuff.
mention in there.
Yeah, it's like we never have.
I told her my side, that I felt overwhelmed and underappreciated, that I felt I was doing more than my fair share and that she wasn't. I told her that I could understand that while I may be doing plenty around the house and parenting, that I was guilty of letting her take the majority of the mental load, but that still doesn't excuse her behavior. I felt I was firm but fair, and to her credit, instead of fighting back, she listened. We discussed her feelings, and she admits to not prioritizing housework and trying to make the most of her free time, and agreed that we will sit down and come up with a schedule for cleaning that we are both accountable for.
Great. That's great.
This is what happens when you get together and make a plan
And communicate
what works well for both and figuring that out. It's beautiful. She told me some issues that I wasn't aware of that her mother had been dealing with since retiring and the passing of her father, wife's granddad. Loneliness and depression, issues relating to my sister-in-law. She's a mess and a constant headache, which is why she had been going to see her so much. Other feelings she had been having about feeling lost in kids, not having anything for herself, and some depression related to weight gain since having our second child. She has put on 40 to 50 pounds and no longer feels attractive. I told her that I still think
which is maybe the stuff.
Maybe. Aha, observant. I told her that I still think she's beautiful, but she doesn't. Hence our DB. What is DB? Our
dead bedrooms. The sex stuff.
Bedroom.
There it is. Hence our dead bedroom, which means they're not doing the dirty stanky.
They're not doing the spicy sleep.
Ooh, spicy sleep. That's right. There were hurt feelings and tears from both of us. So we are going to take some steps. Number 1, we have both agreed to switch out mornings and evenings. Smart. I like that. I get the kids up, breakfast, teeth, dressed, and take them to school. She does dinner, bath, bed, etc. And the next day, we swap. This gives us both some mornings and evenings free to do what we want.
That's awesome.
2, we are both joining the gym. I too have put on some weight and lost some muscle since our second kid. Hopefully this helps her with her body confidence. 3, we're also arranging with the in-laws to have babysitters once a week for us to start going on regular dates again. Another
win
idea. For context, the in-laws are our only support. I'm an orphan who has faced abuse, raised with my grandmother who has now passed. Number 4, we found a cleaning schedule where you do certain chores throughout the house every day, but pick one room to deep clean every day too. Man, one room deep cleaned every day. They're spick and span over here, apparently. With me doing laundry, dishwasher, etc., things take less time. Her doing the deep cleans and general tidying. And number 5 and final, most importantly, she is looking at getting a part-time job so she can start helping financially, give her some income that isn't from me, and give her something to focus on outside of being a mom. All of these are great.
And I feel like that last one, it could be that she was feeling like she wanted some of her independence and identity back.
Shake it up, have like a kind of goal to work on outside of that. I 100%
This
understand
is
that.
Excellent solution and like a world-class approach to some hard issues.
But Sam,
Oh, no.
we are not done.
No.
We are not done.
Tell me it's just okay. Tell me it's smooth sailing.
Well, as all of my wages went into the joint account, I felt like I never had any money as I didn't want to spend and there would not be enough to pay for the mortgage, etc., etc. So I never spent money and resented that she did. So OP was bringing home all the money and he's
They're
like,
not going to spend any.
I don't want to, go outside her bills. And of course, the wife is a mom, got all these expenditures. He was resenting her. Not good. They talked it out. Making sure that there is enough to cover direct debits, then dividing the remaining stuff into accounts for savings, personal, for each of us to have our own money that we can spend how we want, guilt-free. Love that. Number 6, I'm going to pick up a hobby that gets me out of the house and commute to the office once a week. Another smart idea. One thing we discussed was that I was always at home. I didn't do anything other than work and be at home, so we didn't have a lot to talk about because I didn't go anywhere. That makes sense. It also meant that she never got any alone time at home away from me or the kids, and she felt like a nuisance being at home while I was at work. Well, we took this weekend to spend a little time together as a family. We took the kids to the park, went to a nature reserve for a picnic, and had bike rides. Adorable.
This is so cute.
This is so cute.
This is like I was worried with more of the story being there that it was going to go terribly, but no.
But we're not done.
No.
I don't know. I'm just saying we're not done. That's all I am saying.
Okay.
I took the kids rock climbing, followed by ice cream. It was really nice, and we both feel like a weight has been lifted. It's obviously not going to change overnight, and we both need to work at it, but we both have a plan and both seem to want to put in the effort. To everyone who gave me good advice, recommended therapy, we can't afford it until she starts working, but we are looking for when she does, and commiserated with your own stories or just to say a kind word. Thank you so much. There were comments that made me cry and so much insight that I hadn't considered. Thank you. To those who clearly didn't read my post, but instead assumed I was entitled and entirely to blame because I used the word help, or that I probably didn't know my own children's birthdays and allergies, I feel sorry for you and hope that you get the help you so sorely needed. And that is the end of the story. And a great conclusion.
A great ending. World class. This is how every problem in a relationship should be solved.
Yes. They came together. They figured out a detailed plan, really heard each other. What are the wants, needs, pain points, and crafted an awesome plan and executed.
And I also love how they like with the dead bedroom stuff. Like there was like a little bit, it seems like they've just been so swamped dealing with the kids that they haven't made time to actually be with each other and also take care of themselves.
Yes.
Like sometimes when you have kids, you forget that you are your own person and you also you're in a relationship. And so I think what was really cool is he ventured to understand like why is there intimacy stuff, and it was because she wasn't feeling like great in her own body, and then also gave a potential solution that he supported her and it was like, oh, I've been gaining weight too, like let's both go to the gym. It was like this really, I feel like a really healthy way to approach it.
Yes, I have no notes.
No notes.
OP crushed it.
No notes. But do you have any notes? Put your answers, your notes in the comments.
But Sam.
Yes, John.
Do you have some notes in the form of a story to read to me?
I do.
Am I the a-hole for wanting to divorce my husband after he brought up polyamory?
What about more the merrier?
This comes from Cassie18744 who says, hi, I've been married to my hubby for 4 years and we've been together for 12 years. After a lot of financial struggle, we bought a house and we are now planning to get kids.
Woo.
Nothing can go wrong from here.
Get those kids.
We're good to go.
Or something.
This is a few months ago. My husband fell sick and had to stay home for a while. He decided to pick up an online game and started to have weekly sessions with a group of players.
Players play.
Players do play. Among them is a girl. Whoa. A girl gamer?
No.
What is this?
Be gone!
30, I think. And long story short, he fell in love with her.
Damn, she won that game.
Dude, she won the
She
game
won the
of life.
ultimate game.
Dude, the ultimate game. The only one that
She
really
has
matters.
game.
She has game too.
She has game
Golly.
and she won it.
Oh man, dude, so many puns. What's happening? He broke down crying a month ago and admitted it. He told me it built up so gradually he didn't understand how he felt until it was too late.
What's too late? Like they, I don't know, got
I have to
on
leave you.
stream and had their players mesh with each
Oh,
other.
true.
Did they put their Minecraft beds next to each other?
Oh,
Whoa, dude, that.
the Minecraft
That's
bed next to
heinous.
each other.
Whoa.
Did they sleep next to each other in those Minecraft beds?
Or was there one?
Did they sleep in
did
the
they
same
combine?
Minecraft bed?
Were they on overnight Discord calls?
Ooh, yeah, it could get pretty spicy.
That's
I want to
great.
know how far you went.
Me too. I think we'll see. They started texting privately after meeting and eventually had one-on-one calls together. Then, at some point, she told him that she was in love with him and he realized it was mutual.
They got a brain connect, you know?
Yeah, this is so sad.
Don't let your wife stop you from finding your wife.
Save your daughter, 2024. He said he told her it was impossible, but loved her too. They tried to be just friends, but they couldn't resist and continued to show affection for each other. He showed me the text, but also ventured into spicy texting.
Ooh.
Yikes. She asked if she could meet him face to face, but he refused.
So they haven't even met face to face.
Yeah, they haven't met face to face.
But his
It
profile
seems.
pic looks great.
I would love if this was a catfish situation.
Ooh.
I would love it. It would be sweet revenge.
Well, so reading it back, they started texting privately after meeting and eventually had one-on-one calls together. Okay, it's not super clear if it's been like video calls yet or if it's just been like Discord audio calls. Yeah.
I think it was just like after meeting in the gaming world.
Yeah, like after they
After they met up in
had
freaking
conversed
Minecraft or
online.
Fortnite
Before.
or whatever the kids
Yeah.
are playing these days.
Kids!
Roblox. Yeah.
Roblox, true.
Roblox.
Is that what the kids are playing?
Shout out to the kids. I wouldn't know about it. He told me all of this, apologized over and over again, and told me he couldn't control himself. And while he loved both of us, that seems like the wrong thing to say. It was.
I mean, he's being honest.
That is true. That is true. And while he loved both of us, it was me he would choose no matter what.
Okay, that's good. Because my next question was, they're both hanging off a cliff. Who does he save? So he chooses her. Chooses his wife.
Which is good. Which is good.
She's my wife.
I was still very upset and slept at a friend's house that night to gather.
Okay.
I decided to forgive him because he clearly felt guilt and wanted to work it out. I told him that while I was deeply hurt, I still appreciated him coming forward to me and being honest about what happened.
Yeah, but it was after spicy texts. Like, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, like you've already cheated.
the trust is broken. I think I would be different if it was like, oh, I started developing these feelings, but nothing happened.
Yes.
You know, and it was just over but they already sent messages.
Yeah,
I feel
this
like.
too late thing. So if it was too late, and this is still like crazy, but if it was like too late and he was like, hey, I've realized I have feelings for this person. I haven't done anything, but like
That's
realized.
better.
That's at least a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But I guess sending texts is better than just doing it in person.
I guess degrees.
Degrees.
Is this first degree cheating? Is it capital cheating?
I think it's first degree.
First degree cheating.
Well, cheating in the second degree, right? Because
Yeah.
first degree murder is the worst murder.
I think capital is the worst, but like in the 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
Which one is the worst murder?
Yeah.
I think I'd say third degree murder. This is manslaughter.
Yeah. This is man cheating.
Man cheating.
Manslaughter of cheating.
I think it's cheating in the third degree.
Cheating in the third degree. I'm down. I'm with that. I'm with that. We got into long conversations about how we were feeling in our relationship. I accepted he could love someone else, but I said I didn't like how he handled it by literally cheating and spicy texting. Yeah. He agreed, and then yesterday he asked if I was comfortable opening up the marriage to polyamory. My
Babe,
guy.
I choose you every single time. But if you let me choose someone else, I would.
Ooh.
If you let me, I'd choose both of you. But I would choose you. But if you let me, I'd choose both.
2 is company, but 3.
That's a crowd that I want to be straight dab in the middle of.
Oh, good golly goobers. He said he still wanted to live with me and have kids, but can't erase nor ignore the feelings he has for her. That is literally, you said, oh, I would choose you. That's what that means.
Yeah, you're not.
Right?
You're not choosing her. If you're having your cake and eating it too.
But
Dude.
like, can you blame the guy? Hear me out. Hear me out.
So I'm
Yes.
excited. I'm
We
excited.
can,
to
what do
hear
you
this.
mean? We can
I'm
totally,
so excited.
We can totally blame the guy.
Okay. You all that are listening right now, listen to these two beautiful men on these microphones that sound phenomenal. Tell me you haven't fallen in love with these guys. Tell me that. You guys hear them all the time in your ears, and they are lovely. How could you not?
Yeah, have you told your significant others about us? Our little throuple we got going?
Yeah, dude. It's getting a little crazy over here.
Quadruple?
Actually, I mean,
Pentuple?
yeah, let's keep it there.
John's uncomfortable.
5. We're keeping it at 5.
5.
Have you told him/her about it?
I think it's about that time.
It's about that time. What, you've been listening for a year?
We've been in your ears
Possibly
for way too
more?
long.
Yeah, I've been whispering sweet nothings
Not okay.
every single night.
I've just been talking regularly.
I've been whispering for both
Sam's
of us.
been whispering.
Yeah.
Sweet nothings.
I've been whispering for all the things John can't say.
That's right. Yes. So tell him it's about time. He says he wants to do it right and let us both see other people with clear boundaries in communication and still be present for one another.
I feel like his boundaries are like, you can't do anything with them. You can maybe go on a date, but I can do whatever.
It's the classic. We've seen this 100 times. I'm going to be honest, it made me feel very uncomfortable at first. We have several friends who are poly. I know more or less how it works, but I never really thought about getting into it myself. I am not against it. It just never crossed my mind before. I am trying to think it through, but it's a lot to take in. Sorry, my writing is probably messy, but it's kind of hard to focus. I guess it's too early to decide, and we have a lot more to discuss beforehand, but still, could you guys give me more opinions on this? Thanks a lot. We have relevant comments. We have an update, but real quick pit stop. Everyone in the comments, Sam, what should Opie do?
I mean, this is a big shift. And it's not a shift that came from a like mutual desire to explore. It's a shift that came from OP trying to legitimize a lie that happened within the relationship. And the lie was like, basically, I'm going to commit fully to you. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And now he is completely gone against that by falling in love and spicy texting someone else. So I think it, like, I mean, you can do whatever you want to do, but it definitely is shaky ground to be building a new relationship because trust has been broken.
Yes. Yeah, I think like he's getting off really easy even before the polyamory suggestion.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
he's getting
now-
off way. I think OP is being way too lenient.
That's what I'm saying. Like this guy was getting off easy already, and like not like OP wasn't really bringing the hammer down and being very like empathetic and like, you know, but now he brings up this. Like you can only, I feel like he actually could have proposed this in a much, like he might have been able to like slide this through and have it be something that was good if he didn't let himself get to that point.
Yeah.
There's no way he didn't know before it went too far.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I hate that.
Exactly. I think before you open up your relationship, at the very least, reestablish trust with your partner.
Yes.
And then maybe you talk about that. But man's trying to like build a whole house on a shoestring.
Or is he like, let's just take the trust in the relationship, remove it so we don't need it anymore, and now we're good to go.
Maybe he's just trying to go all in on this new relationship. He's like, I want this thing to fail, but I'm too scared to leave.
Yeah, that's a good, like just keep saying things until she breaks up with you.
Yeah.
Well, we have some relevant comments, ladies and gentlemen.
This is a crazy thing to ask.
Yeah, this is absolutely
Crazy thing
I
to
don't think
ask.
we've seen it asked in this fashion ever on the show.
I think if I was to say what OP should do right now, at least take a break.
At least take a break. I like that. I like that a lot. So the first commenter one, I'd be divorcing so fast. Short, sweet, and simple. Dog of the Bone says, so he cheated and now he wants to keep cheating by calling it poly. Lol, come on. Do not have kids with this man for the love of God. And if you have any self-respect, you'll be serving him divorce papers soon as possible. Sorry your husband is a cheating butt.
Dang.
Yeah. Just really laying into OP there.
Yeah.
Swamp Cat says, you got married under the assumption you would remain monogamous.
Yes. That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
literally the
That's
contract.
Yes.
Yes. He is trying to fundamentally change the nature of your relationship. If I were you, I would drop any attempts at conceiving and figure out your next steps.
Oh, yeah. Definitely don't have kids.
Yes.
At least not right now.
Stop that.
Stop that train.
Stop. Personally, I would not stay with someone who desired an open relationship. You need to decide if it's something you're willing to entertain or not.
But I feel like right now is not the time to entertain it.
It is not the time. This is the worst time possibly imaginable.
Yeah, his timing is terrible.
But
At
this time right now, we have an update. Let's see it. So, first of all, sorry I didn't reply to all the comments. I'm very thankful for them. They helped me realize hard but fair truths about the whole situation. I waited for a bit to think about it and had multiple long discussions with my husband. I wanted to confront him before making a final decision. To answer some of your questions, the other girl wanted to meet him, but they never did. Partly because my husband refused, but honestly, mostly because she lives too far from here. I still got checked for STIs, and I'm clean. Yay. That's good. Yeah,
Huge.
that was smart. As for our polyamory friends, they apparently were the ones who suggested him to go down the polyamory road. Come on, bro.
I mean, I get it. I mean, of course, your poly friends are gonna be like, "Yeah, come down this road. We've already
but
gone
after
down."
he broke the trust of the relationship,
I mean,
I get them.
I don't
them
think it's
suggesting
good
in general.
advice. I don't think it's good
You
advice.
understanding
but
where-
it's like I don't know. I feel like it's like the fast food company man being like, "Yeah, you should eat more fast food here."
Right.
I don't. That's a terrible.
I got you.
the
It's
fast
like,
food man.
it's like anyone that's like, I want to grow my business. We're like, oh, do content. Content will help you so much. Is that better?
I don't think that's better. I think it's like.
Let's get another one.
I think let's see. Let me think. What is it like?
Like the pill.
You know what
man.
it's like? You know what it's like?
What?
It's everyone who owns Bitcoin telling everyone else to buy Bitcoin, because if they buy Bitcoin, then their Bitcoin is more valuable.
That's a lot
That's
warmer.
what it's like.
Yeah, that is a lot warmer. Yeah, it helps.
It
Normalize
helps normalize
Or
poly couples, and
it's
so
like,
they're incentivized.
because they can have more people in their relationships.
Yeah, they could add to their poly
They're
horde.
trying to have yeah. They're just trying to have like a giant circle of like 40 people all in one. Poly
Yeah, I don't think
relationship.
that's how poly groups work, but I like to imagine it's like, like those snowballs that just pick up more things as they
Yeah.
rode down a hill. That's the poly horde.
It's just
They're
bodies.
just-
People are just freaking
just-
macking on each other down a hill, and they're just like collecting more and more people. Just
Very inclusive.
super inclusive. Wow. Well. So Opie says, I stopped talking to them for now, the poly friends. I'll deal with the bigger problem first. I told him his actions hurt me deeply, and that while I appreciated him admitting his affair, it was still infidelity. I told him what you guys said, that turning into polyamory was merely green-lighting the affair after the fact.
Agreed.
That polyamory should be built on mutual trust and communication, which he already broke.
Agreed. We're so good at this. We're
Come on.
so good.
We literally said all these things.
That's what we said.
Come on now.
Listen to us.
Yeah.
We're better than a therapist.
We're smart. We're smart boys.
Okay, OP. Better than
Better than a therapist, dude. What a tagline. That I didn't feel respected. It destroyed him, and he said he already knew deep down, but didn't want to admit it, neither to me nor to himself. We both screamed and cried a lot.
Screamed?
Guess so. Guess passionate discussion, dude.
Well, I
He
guess.
plays video games. Of course he's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a gamer
He's-
moment, babe.
He's rage quitting his relationship, his marriage. He finally admitted he wanted to open the marriage for selfish reasons.
No
Whoa! Oh, really? Plot twist. Never saw that one coming. Wow. He is very sorry. He cut off contact with the other girl, let me fully access his computer and phone, and now wants to go to counseling to repair our relationship and marriage. He is showing me a lot of affection and attention since then, although he admits himself it's sometimes out of guilt and not just out of pure love.
Question, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Divorce or therapy?
How long has it
Honestly-
been? How long has it been?
Let's see. How long have they been married? They're 33 and 34, so we know their age.
Have they been married for at least 4 years?
So they've been together since they were 28, 20.
Oh,
Oh,
we've been
I see.
together for 12 years.
I think therapy could be good.
I'm just like picking up his vibe, and I hate it.
Hey, man made a big boo-boo. But 12 years. 12 years?
I mean, 12 years is a long time, so I could see them.
12
You
years.
know.
12 years.
But I just like.
It's a big boo-boo.
I think I just hate this guy. I think I
Yeah,
have like a big bias against this guy.
I mean, according to the golden rules,
They are golden and rules.
he's only used up one.
But did he? He didn't actually do the dirty deed though.
They were spicy
Third,
texting.
it was cheating in the third degree. I think it still counts.
Yeah, third degree cheating, which
Yeah.
is still got cheating in there.
Yeah.
Okay, emotional.
I know, it's further than
no,
emotional.
No, it's further than emotional. It's spicy
Yeah.
texts. If you send a booty pic, I think that counts.
They sent that
Yes.
And at least they sent.
They
you
were
receive.
spicy texting.
Yeah, they were spicy texting.
like that. I thought it was like,
No.
I like the way you gameplayed it, babe.
No. They were like,
I think they were sending booty pics.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think 12 years and one booty pic I think it deserves therapy.
I mean,
because it sounds like that's what OP is like. Like there's a lot of good in the relationship. Again, really, really bad move, but maybe therapy can help.
yeah, no, I think in like almost any scenario, going to therapy first, just to kind of almost like,
and then see like,
almost like mediate going into the divorce if it is at that. Oh, there's some things that are just like, okay, I need to divorce it.
I think if you go into, I think you, and I'm not saying you don't divorce, but I think because there's been 12 years of a relationship and it was only a couple booty pics, maybe it deserves therapy. And then if you realize, oh, like we have really departed in what our values are, which it seems like has already taken place, then divorce.
Yeah, I think I'm ICUing a divorce.
Yeah.
Because I think he's not going to stop being an idiot.
I think they're going to stay together. I think everyone's going to hate my take too. I think everyone's going to hate it, but I stick by it.
Yeah. Dude, now I'm excited. We got two sides.
I think they're going to stay together. Come on. It's a predictive tool. 12 years, one booty pick,
dude.
You're telling me 12 years of marriage can't overcome one booty pick.
This guy,
they got momentum. He's an idiot.
He's so dumb, and I hate it.
I don't think they're going to divorce.
We'll see. Now I'm excited. This just added more excitement to the story. So, OP says, and now I want to make it work too.
What did I tell you? Sam's golden rules, predictive tools for relationships. Ba ba ba.
But.
Oh.
Don't let him cook. But am I? Or is it just sunk cost fallacy because they've been together for 12 years? The kryptonite of the golden rules. Oh, I'm dying. I don't know. Man, OP in one sentence just like threw us both. We were like Drake and Kendrick over here, just like trading spots. We're like, who's gonna win? We don't know. Every time it goes back.
I'm still. I think they're gonna move through it.
Our first session is in 2 months. The earliest we could get. Dang, that's
what
far
are you
away.
talking about? Get a B rate one before you get A rate. You know, this is you need emergency attention.
Yeah. We need the big red button therapy.
Yeah.
Now,
you need like clear. Yeah. Get one.
Defibrillator therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
And every day I change my mind. Dude, me and Sam are going to go through it today. Literally yesterday, I wanted to leave him. While today, I think it's worth giving a try. Because we've known each other for so long.
12 years.
We understand each other on a very deep level.
Super well.
Share lots of interests.
A lot of interests.
And have already built so much together.
They're building.
He was there for me during hard parts of my life. And he took responsibility for his actions and is really trying. Plus, if I leave him, I'd have to start my life nearly from scratch, find a new place to live, go back into dating for the first time in 12 years. I don't want to lose everything. It sounds very hard and scary. Am I too old for this?
You're never too old. And if what you have is shit, do you mind losing it?
Great point. But at the same time, that's a form of denial, isn't it? It doesn't matter if those years were good. It's not going to be the same. Even if he gains my trust back, even if I forgive him, I'll never forget. I think he is genuinely remorseful, but isn't it too late for that? I am too empathetic. Him being present now doesn't erase what was done. Do I want to stay? Not because I still believe in this relationship, but because I don't have the strength to ask for the divorce. Because it's the easy choice, some kind of codependency. I have no idea. I can picture both paths clearly, and it's tearing me apart. OP, it's tearing me apart too, because we don't know. I am lost.
Tool. That's all I'm saying.
I am lost, maybe even more than I was when I wrote my previous post. I've lost sleep and appetite, and I'm not sure I enjoy anything in my life anymore. I booked an appointment with a psychologist for me alone to help with this whole thing.
Smart.
Very smart. Very smart. I am sorry. At this point, I am rambling. I know I am the only one who can decide what's okay and comfortable for me or not. It's ultimately my choice and my choice only. The emotional hell I am going through just makes thinking about that choice very hard and paralyzing. I'll go to both therapies, hers and the couple's, and try to see what to do from there. I'll try to update, but it's probably going to take a while. I'm sorry. I want to thank you again for your support, and I'm sending you guys a lot of love. And there is an edit, but quick pit stop. Comment, Sam, still feeling like divorce? Or not staying together, rather?
So I don't think that I do not think she's going to be the one to cut things off. 12 years. I don't think so.
Right. So she, which to be fair, still stands on your original statement technically of like she will not divorce.
I don't think so. I mean, there's so much.
But maybe he will step away.
I could maybe. I want to say that because it does sound like he's really trying, but he's like, I'm in love with this person that I haven't even seen. There must be a huge draw there that he's like suppressing. And I think he's also, as we said, an idiot.
What if she shows up to the house
of the person and asks for a throuple
of their house and just?
You mean that person?
Yeah, the gamer girl. If the gamer girl shows up at the house and then he sees her in person and she's like, I had to fight for you. I had to come back and da-da-da-da.
He hasn't even seen her in person. He's like that obsessed. Like
he goes to a gamer convention. Who parts ways and then in front of his favorite booth.
The only thing, like, all right, I think OP should leave this guy for sure.
Yeah.
Because he actually hasn't been, like, everything that he's shown has seemed like he's choosing this gamer girl over OP. Like, he hasn't really shown that he's choosing OP, really.
Yeah.
And so I think OP should leave, but using the 12-year relationship as a predictive tool, I do not think she will.
She should, but she
won't.
But she won't.
If there's an update, is there an update?
Oh, there's more.
Pooh.
Edit. A couple of a bit of info I should have mentioned, but didn't because of all that I was putting into the writing without omitting something that is much harder than I thought. He cut off contact with her because once he told her he was married and wanted us both, she just ran away and broke up with him.
Ooh.
So she's gone now.
Ooh.
There are times since then where my husband started feeling sad or angry because of what's basically withdrawal.
Oh.
And for that, he's smart and at least sensible enough not to blame me for it. What kind of marriage did we have before this crisis? It will sound so naive. It was my first and only romantic relationship. We grew very close and basically grew as adults together. We could talk about anything and understand each other. We share the same values and interests. What changed, I think, is that we got into a routine and he got bored. During our argument, he said he was addicted to the attention the girl was giving him and that he felt like I didn't show him I was in love with him enough anymore.
Oh, come on. Don't put blame on her.
Yeah, dude. No. If you feel that way, then you tell your wife that.
Yeah,
you voice it, literally. That's the only way that argument is valid.
We're going to get back into the story, John, but something is amiss.
What is it?
I think you haven't subscribed.
What are you doing?
If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now.
Do it.
All right, let's get back into the story.
I told him that even if it was true, he should have told me, bingo, instead of having an affair. Double bingo. On one hand, I have my faults too, and I could accept this as one of them. On the other hand, I was taking care of him and the house while he was sick. I don't think he believes it. I don't think he means it, but it makes me wonder whether I was actually a good wife for him, even though I am not responsible for his actions. Thanks again for your support, y'all. It's a lot to process, but it helps me so much. And we have some relevant comments to close out this story. OP on if she and her husband have kids and plans on getting counseling. OP says kids are off the table.
Good.
Thank God.
Good. Definitely don't want to build anything like that on that unstable ground.
Absolutely.
I still think he needs to earn back her trust.
Yeah.
If they want, and they have to do therapy. If you stay, definitely don't skimp on the therapy, the couples therapy, and really, I guess try to understand what does winning back trust even look like for you?
Yeah. What is it? Yeah. What does it look like? What does it mean? Yeah. 100%. If we do go into counseling and it goes exceptionally well, maybe we'll talk about kids. But for now, the distrust is already there. He says, I love you, but I never know whether it's to regain my trust. Whether he means it or not. Even if he does he love me, or is it a lie he tells himself? Dog of the Bone says, if you choose to say, don't be surprised if in a year you find him talking to someone again. Cheaters are sneaky. They'll show remorse and swear they've changed. Meanwhile, they're smirking inside because they've started a new affair and think they can get away with it this time. OP says, thank you. It's obvious and well known. Once a cheater, always a cheater. But reading it helps me fight denial. I really need to break up with him. If not for myself, just to show him that actions have consequences.
She needs to. So she knows she has to, but she hasn't.
It hasn't yet, and that is all that we have written in the story.
So
When was
who's
this?
more right, Riley?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
this
Riley.
Is, we need
Who's more
the
right? So
tiebreaker.
we both predicted certain things. Who's more right?
I mean, you were on the money.
Also, this was posted 2 days ago.
So we may get an update.
So this isn't like 5 years ago. You know, it's like we could get an update. But continue.
I mean, Sam, you were on the money, but the only flaw in it was you didn't think she could divorce the husband. But now she's coming to her senses.
I don't think she will.
Even after that last part.
She just said she should, which I think she knows that she should. But I think 12 years is a lot of momentum. And I think she will choose to try to make the relationship better and do therapy before she.
The exact sentence there is, I really need to break up with him.
But will she is the
Yeah,
thing.
but if she
That's
said,
her
I am
mindset.
going to break up with him.
Yeah.
People say, I really need to quit nicotine. And here people are popping Zins like they're Tic Tacs.
That's true.
But John had a good point as well. It's still up in the air in my.
No, we need.
It's up in the air.
Because OP didn't give a decision. You literally have to.
You're
be
the
one
only.
that makes the decision.
Who is more right?
What do you think? What do you think is ultimately going to happen?
Yeah.
What Sam said, I feel like is ultimately going to happen. But I want to happen what you said.
Yeah.
So bad, but I
Yeah.
feel like it's leaning this way. But I'm hoping it'll lean that way.
There you go. That's a tiebreaker. That's a tiebreaker. It's what we needed.
I hope we get an update. OP,
please.
if you listen to this, I feel like, and you know what? I actually do think going to therapy is going to help crystallize a lot of this. So you may not know exactly what to do now, but go to therapy with your partner, and I think you will discover what his true intentions are, and that will help you inform whether you should divorce or stay in this relationship.
Yes, I agree.
But what do you think? Put your answers in the comments below.
Who won?
Who won?
Who's next?
You decide.
Okay, OP stories. By the way, I don't want to divorce from this episode.
No, you don't?
Yeah.
You want to do some little therapy?
Is there more that we could
I
possibly
think
do?
we could talk it out with this next story.
Heyo!
Fun fact. I ordered barefoot shoes.
Those are the toe ones?
Little toes.
Dude, are you from Florida or am I from Florida? That's the real question.
Is that a Florida thing?
I had some when
Yeah.
I was younger.
Barefoot shoes?
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I had them when I was younger. Kid.
Apparently they're better. They're better for your ankles. I wouldn't roll my ankles as much.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, that's good advertisement right there. They also said that with basketball.
I don't think they did. Basketball shoes.
I feel like a thicker, like a sole would help prevent you from rolling your ankle.
No. Because
Did you roll your ankle while barefoot surfing?
Yes, but that was extenuating circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Mother Nature.
You were already barefoot. You don't need the shoe.
I mean, that is a great point, but extenuating circumstances.
I love.
Anyway,
Anyways,
let's get back to this.
What do we got?
Let's go to this next story. So, also, if anyone has any advice on barefoot running, I want to start running longer distances in bare feet because contrary to what Riley and John are saying, I do think it's better for my ankles. And I was born to run in my feet.
He was born to run.
We are all born to run with our feet and nothing else.
But now we have pavement and rocks.
We had rocks back then.
But not pavement.
Have you heard
Yeah.
of the Stone Age? There was nothing but rocks.
But what about grass?
Grass, dude.
Yeah.
And there were rocks
Dirt.
and
Yeah.
rocks.
But you're not running on rocks. No
Bro,
one runs
you're-
on rocks.
You're telling me in the
Except for Wim Hof.
and the millions of years of evolution since Australopithecus,
Didn't happen.
Australopithecus,
I'm a young earther.
Australopithecus. Since Australopithecus was roaming the plains of Africa,
Yes.
you're saying that not one human
Of course, one
or
person
human
has run on
descendant
rocks.
ran on rocks.
Some people ran, but they
Some
weren't.
people ran on rocks.
They weren't like
They
that
were
wasn't
built to
their
run on
normal. Their normal thing.
What
That's something
about-
you do if you have to.
What about the rock people?
There are no rock people.
There are rock people. There are people that carve their homes out of rocks like 20,000 years ago.
You know why they do that?
Why?
Because they're built like that.
I'm built like that.
Well, then do it.
That's why I'm getting bare feet.
Well, then do it, okay?
I am.
Ooh.
I am gonna do it, and my ankles are gonna be great.
Why do you need to prove this to us then?
Because I wasn't asking you guys. I was asking them. You guys just chimed in. I was having a heart to heart with y'all, asking, "Hey, does anyone wear barefoot shoes? Can you give me any advice?" And then the two people who never run, Mr. Bikey
ran.
McGee and Mr. CrossFit, are like, "Oh, let me tell you about barefoot running."
I'm not saying anything about barefoot running. I'm just saying people don't usually run on rocks.
Bro, everyone's
That's not their optimal path. They ran on dirt, they ran on grass, but I want to run to this next story.
All right. Today I effed up by letting an Instagram DM sugar daddy pay off my credit card. This is OKOP, home of the craziest stories on earth. I'm Sam and Sophia. Would you let a sugar daddy pay off your credit card?
Yes.
Have you ever gotten those sugar daddy?
Yes, but they were.
Instagram DMs?
I assumed they were scams, so maybe I wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, I think that the only
maybe
one
I was
way
given
to
the
find out,
opportunity.
you gotta take it all the way. You
No,
gotta say
I'm
like,
okay.
sure, take me out to dinner.
Nah, I
And
guess I
then they're
wouldn't
like,
do it.
all right, meet me in the middle of the desert,
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do
and then they
that.
kidnap you.
Oh, and then I'm dead.
You're dead.
And my credit card is paid off.
Yeah. If you die, you don't have to pay off your credit card. So
Win-win.
you should thank him. This comes from Wrong Advance 9747. And they say, so I'm passively doom scrolling on Instagram when I receive a DM from a man whom I do not know. I am no stranger to scammers on Instagram, the ones who message you and say they want to help you out. I've always ignored them as they're obvious scams, but today was different. Call it a lapse in judgment or a sudden loss of brain cells. But I received a message from a man who seemed nice enough. Wait, Sophia, so when you've gotten these messages, what do they like? How do they?
Hello, you are the most beautiful woman in the world.
In the world?
I would like to be your sugar daddy.
Is that how it goes? Really? Dang. I wish I got that. I want to be called the most beautiful man in the world. Riley.
Hey, Sam, guess what?
What?
You're the most beautiful man in the
I was
world.
gonna
Oh, you're the
message
most
you.
beautiful
Say,
man in the world.
Sam,
Send me
you are
feet
the
pics.
most beautiful man in the world. I'd like to be your sugar daddy.
One guy, I have an okay story time about sugar daddies.
Amazing.
All right. He had a thought out profile with photos and stories, not your typical fake profile. We started chatting back and forth and things seemed normal. Then this man asked me to be his sugar baby.
Oh, so we hadn't asked it to begin with?
No, he just said,
Hey.
you're the most beautiful woman in the world.
In the well.
Immediately I tell him, A, I have no money. B, have no intention of sending him any money. And C, am not interested in being scammed. Of course, he launches into a grandiose speech about how he'd never scam me or ask me for money, that he'll be paying me. So there's no need to be worried. Apprehensively, I agree to keep talking to him. We exchange phone numbers and begin texting back and forth.
See, I wouldn't.
Would you exchange phone numbers?
I mean, I wouldn't have accepted this man's Instagram request.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't have gotten that far. I love
See,
that
and
he was
that's
like,
why
don't worry.
I
It's
will be sending you
completely
money."
fine. And she's like,
I
I guess I believe
Convinced.
you. You got
That's all I
me.
needed. A few days go by and we're chatting pretty regularly. I talk to him about work, his day. He asked me about my day. Things largely seem benign. At this point, I'm assuming I've met a lonely old man who is looking for some attention. We never talked in any sexual capacity, and he seemed to take genuine interest in my life. But fast forward a few days.
Until.
He texts me and tells me he's going to pay off my credit card, which we had previously talked about. I ask him how he intends to do so, and he becomes insistent on logging into my credit card account
That's
and adding his bank account information as the form of payment.
No. He has to send you, Venmo you.
Yeah, just Cash App.
Yeah. Don't let any.
You're going to do it right.
Yeah.
Use Cash App
Don't let
or
someone in-
Venmo.
Don't let someone into your bank account.
Yeah, don't give them any of your
Don't.
details.
Why would you ever do
That's
that?
very silly.
That's, yeah.
I was incredibly reluctant, as you should be.
Yeah.
Rule 1 of basic cybersecurity would dictate that should anyone ask for personal information, I should not give that said information. However, there I sat, weighing the risks and rewards. A young college student with a sizable amount of debt from living expenses, $2,000 plus, and a man seemingly willing to pay it all off
Okay, well, he should send the money. This is so
via Cash App. So I run the risk.
No.
I give him the login information
No.
and sit anxiously as I ponder all of the ways this man could ruin my life.
Oh my God.
Then-
Why would you?
The pending payment was posted, and I received an email confirmation. Immediately, I changed my password
Okay.
and thank him profusely. After a day or two, the payment clears and my card is paid off. The euphoria I felt in that
Wow.
moment is unmatched. We continue talking back and forth for about 2 weeks. Cut to last night at about 1 a.m. They're talking to 1 a.m.
About what?
I mean, he
Their
paid off her
lives?
credit card bill. She's gotta give a little bit of a conversation back.
I guess so.
That's crazy.
I
That
mean,
risk really paid off.
It did. See, Sophia,
I
you're
would
missing
never
out
do
with
it.
all
Yeah.
of those DMs that you get
My
on
credit
Instagram.
card bill.
I'm texting him about his weekend, and he asked me to run an errand for him. This is where the feeling in my gut that something was wrong started. He starts
This
telling
is
me,
where it started?
Yeah, this is the point.
Ah.
He starts telling me that he needs gift cards for crypto trading.
What?
That's totally normal.
That's so normal.
So normal.
You need your bank account and social security number for crypto trading.
That I need to get the gift cards for him because I'm the only one he can trust. That once I purchase the cards with my credit line, he would pay it all back just as he did before.
No, that's where you cut your losses.
Sketchy. Naturally,
No.
I began to ask questions. Why do I specifically need to purchase the cards? Why can't he purchase them for himself? How many does he need, etc.? Quickly, his patience runs thin. He begins pressuring me to purchase the cards and telling me I owe him for paying off the card.
Nuh-uh.
Finally, I tell him outright no, that I'm uncomfortable and that he had promised I wouldn't ever have to pay any fees to give him money. Then he got very angry. I am not well educated on the SDSB dynamic,
Sugar daddy,
sugar baby dynamic,
baby.
but I do know that no one would ask anyone to do something of this nature unless they're doing some shady business. Yeah. Usually, like when people ask you to buy any kind of gift cards ever, it's a scam. Because,
Wait, for real?
well, yeah,
Like if someone was like, hey, could you go get me a Target gift card? Don't trust it.
don't trust it.
Why?
Never. Sophia asked me to get a Target gift card. I thought she was an undercover spy.
What?
No, but actually, like scammers and like hackers and such.
But why a gift card?
Gift card because it's untraceable.
Oh.
Because you can like redeem it really easily and it's untraceable.
That's true.
Yeah. Either he's scamming or laundering money. Regardless, I don't want to be involved. The man begins to ask for his money back, saying that if I don't pay him back in 24 hours, he'll make me regret my life.
My God. Go to the police.
I ask him how he wants to receive payment, and he provides an email I do not recognize. It was then that I realized I effed up. I start panicking and shaking. At first, I considered just sending the money and having it all over with. I was so embarrassed about the debt and terrified of my parents finding out. Ultimately, I knew I didn't have the money. In fact, I never had the money at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't given the money to pay the card. He added the payment to the account himself. So I deleted every social media I had and changed every password to everything I own. I blocked his phone
Oh my
number
God.
and began thinking of all or any information he really had on me and what he could do with it. Unfortunately,
Does he have her?
this man was persistent.
Oh, God.
I began receiving texts from the email telling me I'm not going to be smart and run away with his money.
Oh, my God. She's in like, this is
She's in too deep.
wild.
I was so
It's like
terrified.
mafia.
I began pretending that I was my own parent and that I was confused as to why he was looking to contact my child. That's kind of smart.
Oh, my God.
For some reason, he bought this. We interact briefly, and he tells me that I need to talk to my child and get him his money in 24 hours, or he'll be opening up an FBI case.
Okay, but if he opens up,
He's going to tell on himself.
yeah. What is it going to be? Like, I willingly paid off this young woman's debts.
And
And
I'm
now I'm
trying to
threatening
buy
her.
all of these gift cards for my shady illegal business.
Because I have a lot of birthdays coming up.
yeah. I got a big family. Come on. And they all love Target so much.
Yes.
I then reach a realization. I need to actually tell my parents. So I text them at the early hour of 3 a.m. telling them I effed up badly. We call and I tell everything about the debt, the man, the threats, all of it. Now I've come clean. My parents are helping me pick up the pieces and figure out the next step. Hard lesson learned. There's no such thing as free lunch.
For sure.
So TLDR, I met a man through Instagram DMs who wanted to help pay off my credit card debt. I allowed him to do so. And when I refused to purchase gift cards for him on my credit card, he began threatening me. I ended up telling my parents and learning a hard lesson. Yes, it's okay to roast me. Financial desperation apparently destroys your critical analysis skills.
Wait, but what happened?
That's it.
What?
That's where it ends.
So
But honestly,
it seems like she won.
that's what I was thinking. She got her credit card paid
Like
off.
she had a scare, but her credit card is
Nothing really bad has happened. He's
No,
probably
he
not even in the
threatened her.
US. So
yeah.
it's like,
He's probably just threatening her, so like to try and scare her into doing
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
So
I don't
doesn't
think
have
he
a-
actually
yeah.
can do anything.
No, he can't start an FBI case.
Yeah.
How would he do that?
The FBI are going to know that it's sketchy as fuck. And
How,
they're like, you know
how
what?
do- yeah.
Do the FBI case. Go ahead.
Do it. Yeah.
Go ahead. See
I
what
dare
happens.
you.
But I have a little okay story time.
Oh, on credit card debt?
On
The FBI?
one of my friends. Yeah, one of my friends, she got an Instagram DM and was like, hey, how much for feet pics? Which is as something that many women have
Lucrative.
gotten, unfortunately.
Yep.
And he was willing to pay like $50 or like $100 or something. It was like a good amount of money. She's like, all right, I'm kind of down. Like, you send me the money first,
Yeah.
and then I'll send you the feet pics.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, there's one catch. All right. I can either send you $50 cash or I can send you $300 worth of matcha. And he was using
$300 worth of matcha?
and he was using, I think so
Well,
apparently
it was in the nice matcha?
he had a failed matcha business and he had all this matcha that he was like trying to offload by getting feet pics.
He's like, what is this matcha worth?
So question, would you trade one foot pic for $300 worth
yeah.
of matcha?
Yeah. Matcha's expensive.
Matcha's expensive. And Sophia drinks matcha.
I do drink matcha when I have feet.
He's gonna get so many DMs after this episode.
Sophia's
Oh.
feet pics. Everyone's in r/OKOP show.
Just send me matcha for free.
Yeah. We
Please.
need to get a P.O. box
Yeah.
so people can send us
Matcha.
weird, funny things. Someone in the comments has been saying that they want to knit us a little hat.
I would love that.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
I only slightly know how to knit, and I'm not very good.
But you know what you are good at?
Reading.
This next story.
No, just reading.
Just reading in general.
Yeah,
Sophia is
I've
a fast reader.
I've worked really hard.
I gave my husband an ultimatum: quit your job or I'm divorcing you.
Maybe his job was lame.
And this comes from Accurate Raise 6440, and they say, let's preface by saying that I love him. I don't want to leave him, but I can't keep seeing the man I love running himself into the ground for a company that doesn't value him.
They don't deserve you.
My husband got promoted to sales director last year, and we were very happy about it at first.
Oh, good.
But then his life and my own became hell.
No.
The company is struggling and is dealing with numerous lawsuits from clients. My husband knew nothing of this when he was brought in as a director.
It was a trap.
It was a trap. He works every single effing day from 8 a.m. and comes home late, even past midnight. Couldn't imagine.
I couldn't imagine working past midnight.
working past midnight.
Working from 8 a.m. till midnight.
That would be a hellhole.
I would probably have to leave that job.
We had a stream last night till past midnight. Often he works full Saturdays as well.
Oh my
Oh, wow.
God.
He has lost weight and his hair is already graying.
Oh.
One night he didn't come back home and I panicked. I called his company and they wouldn't tell me where he was. He reached out to me midday and I learned he had been hospitalized for heart palpitations. Doctors advise him to take more exams because he risks a heart attack.
Probably had like a stress-induced heart attack.
Yeah, literally this job is killing him.
It's killing him.
It's killing him.
This job's destroying you.
Oh,
He is just 36, but looks 10 years older.
This
He
is like the
looks
presidency. This is like what happens to presidents.
like presidents get 10
like
years on them.
Barack Obama after his
Yeah, look at Barack Obama before and after.
but then like
Barack
now he looks great.
Like immediately after.
Yeah, so that's like immediately after. But like if you look at him and Michelle now, they're glowing.
Obama's that silver fox.
Like
bro.
he's glowing. Look at him glowing.
Look at them now, they look great.
Getting back to it. He is just 36, but looks 10 years older. His company uses and abuses him. I heard him talking to his bosses on phone calls, and the way those people talk to him, just ... OP can't even say.
The way those people talk to him.
Can't even say. And he is too beaten down to leave. I'm friends with his deputy director. Funny thing, I suspected they were having an affair at first. Are they though? But she became a great friend for me, and she's actively looking to leave.
Whoa.
We tried to drill this into my husband, but my husband just drilled into his deputy director.
You know what I mean?
All right, no, I'm kidding. To no avail.
No.
I have been polite. I have been rude. Now I'm just done. I don't want to watch him die.
That's fair.
I gave him the ultimatum. Quit this effing job or I am gone. He's worried about the money, but I work and I can be a breadwinner while he recuperates and looks for a new job, which great wife move.
Honestly, I feel like this might be the thing that he needs to snap him out of it.
Yeah, this is a great wife move.
Yeah.
Shout out OP for being a great wife.
Shout out OP for the great wife move.
He seemingly took me seriously, but for now, he hasn't quit. He has taken sick days and he has really fallen sick now. I can't take this anymore. I love this man and I am watching him unalive himself for people that wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire.
I'm gonna piss on him.
And there are some relevant comments and a thick, juicy update. But Sophia, and also all of chat. Actually, all of chat first. Have you ever had a partner that has like had a job that you saw was murdering their soul?
Steal your soul.
Yeah, really butchering that soul.
Butchering that soul, cutting up into little tiny pieces. I've dated someone once that was like really hated their job, and I feel like it's like hard. It's hard for them. It's hard for the partner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, just not fun to hate your job. I feel like you got to enjoy it a little bit.
Yeah. Ideally,
you should enjoy your job just a little bit.
But what advice would you give OP in like trying to communicate to her husband, like, this is bad for you.
Yeah.
This is bad for us as a family. Like, what do you say?
Well, it seems like OP has tried the route of talking and saying, hey, you're dying. You need to stop.
You stop dying.
You need to stop it right now. I think that they've tried everything that they can in terms of just talking about it. And I think that this is their last resort.
There needs to be action.
Yeah.
Right now.
And I wonder, like, what are the reasons that he's doing it, right? Because, like, he said he's worried about money.
Yeah.
But it seems like OP says that they can handle
this
the
is
finances.
probably a high paying job. And he's thinking maybe, oh, well, it's worth it if I'm able to support my family.
Yeah.
But it's not if you're so unhappy that you can't be there for your family mentally.
And if it's that high paying, I mean, hopefully you guys don't have a crazy lifestyle or anything where you got that lifestyle creep. But it sounds like, again, what your wife is saying is true. What OP is saying, like, take some time off, find a new job that you can actually really enjoy, and then I can take care of things.
Yeah.
Also, this is terrible advice, but I have a friend that currently is working 6 jobs and doing the minimum amount each of those jobs and is making between 100 to 200K at each of those jobs.
Wait,
I'm not telling you.
What?
Unbelievable.
What is he in?
Crazy.
Software engineering.
That's what I thought. Okay.
He's like, but he has like a bunch of jobs that, like, he calls it milking the corporate teat, and he just does
it, man.
the minimum amount. And so I'm saying, like, what I'm saying is with this kind of job, if you're truly just trying to optimize for selling your soul for money, there are better ways than what this guy is doing. You know, there are better ways.
Get 6 jobs.
Get 6 jobs.
Live stream
24/7. Yeah.
Never stop live.
Never
put your
stop
whole life
live
in front of video,
streaming.
okay?
Yeah. And then you'll be fine.
Yeah. But I have some relevant comments.
Get him.
He's also like dummy smart. Like,
of course. Wait,
dummy smart.
was he a part of the like r/overemployed?
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of what he's been up to.
Good for him.
Yeah. Honestly. So some relevant comments. Embarrassed Guy 3188 says, you were right, but he can't hear you right now. Keep pushing. Would it help to have the deputy come over and they both agree to leave? It's possible they are appropriately close, possibly trauma bonded, and he doesn't want to leave her behind. That's kind of cute.
Yeah.
OP responds, we already had this talk with him. She says that if he walks, she's walking with him. He won't budge and says he doesn't want her to lose her job for
But she
him.
wants to leave her job.
Sounds like they both want to leave.
He's like, well, I don't want to leave if you don't want to leave. And she's like, well, I want to leave if you want to leave.
Yeah.
And they're just going in loops.
No, you hang up first. No, you.
Yeah.
Unfair Finger 5531 says, I don't blame you. You like that one?
I don't like that one.
I don't like ultimatums, but sometimes they are needed. You can't just stand by and watch him work himself to death. I hope he's at least getting some rest on his sick days. And OP responds, I had to take his phone away because they kept pestering him for every little thing. I am angry and I am scared. I can't live like this, but I know that if I leave, those people might end up killing him. And then OP gives a little update in the comments and then a bigger update outside of the comments. Let's go into the little update.
Little baby update.
So here's the plan. Tonight, his deputy will come over and we will draft their resignations. I decided to take this off my husband's hands.
Whoa.
I am quitting his job for him.
Whoa.
We
Wait.
won't. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, honestly, delegation. We won't forward the resignations right away because first I want to collect proof of the mistreatment and psychological abuse. If my husband gets better, I will be all too happy to forget about those people. But if he has a heart attack or dies, I am suing the crap out of them. Can you do that? Because like, wouldn't like investment bankers, like investment banks get sued all the time?
Yeah.
So
Wait.
I don't think you can do that.
Maybe if you have enough proof that they've been mistreating and that
but
you
it's
can
not
prove that they're a
mistreatment
health.
to just like
Well, you could say
tell
like
people to work all the
there
time.
are stress-induced health problems.
Yeah. I don't know. But if he has a heart attack or dies, I'm suing the crap out of them. I'm sitting beside him. He's been sleeping nonstop. He's been sleeping. You always do that to me.
He's been sleeping
Anytime.
nonstop. The man is nonstop. Gentlemen of the jury.
Why are you?
It's Hamilton.
Oh, the man is
Nonstop. Gentlemen of the jury. I don't know. Wait, are you aware that we're making history?
Nice. Anyway, I am sitting beside him. He's sleeping non-stop. And I check he's breathing because I am so effing scared. He might die in his sleep. Doctor says it's just a fever, but if he's not getting better by tomorrow, I am taking him to the hospital. Those people are killing him. And there is an update. But what do we think about this plan?
I'm a little bit worried because she's kind of resigning for him.
Yeah, it sounds like he's not fully on board.
Yeah. However, I understand why she's doing it.
And it also could be like, he's like, yes, I want to resign, but I just can't imagine like all of the headache of having to do everything that needs to be done to do that.
Yeah. So maybe she's just like, okay,
like,
take it out of your hand.
What if he's like friends with these people and he works 24/7 with them and like in a way kind of lives with them? Like,
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
how is he able?
Maybe he's like even like related to them.
Yeah, like how is he able to leave that work environment? You know, like it seems like it's impossible to do that.
Damn straight.
You'll die in
We
this
all
house.
die together to Valhalla.
You're not off the payroll till I say you're off.
Up there. So I thought on it and I'm convinced that if I leave, he might die. So I decided to take the action into my hands. Tonight, his deputy director came over and we drafted my husband and her resignations. So they went through the plan.
Yeah.
We decided to not submit them right away, but to use their email and accounts to find proof of the company's mistreatments and abuses. They had him work 16 hours a day, pressured him to the point of giving him heart problems. Now he has taken sick leave and barely gets out of bed. He just sleeps and I have to check he's breathing because at this point I'm scared he might die in his sleep. The doctor says it's just fever, but there's also physical and mental exhaustion and he needs to rest. I wake him up to get him a drink and some water and eat something. I have to help him get up and walk to the bathroom. Wow. Tonight I made it clear he is not going back to the job and he agreed.
Finally.
His deputy director spoke with him too and told him hearsay is that the company is going to collapse and close down by next fall. So they need to get out now.
Whoa.
Dude, it is very demoralizing working for a failing company.
Yeah.
Like I've only worked for one-ish.
I've never worked for a failing company, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, like imagine if everything sucked all the time.
Dang. I kind of did, and it was hard going to work every day because everyone felt defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, lucky that ain't us. Let's go.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, gang.
Together. Forever.
Okay, gang.
is strong. The pigeon army is growing. We'll beat the worm army soon.
No.
Anyway, there's not much to add. I spent the evening with her and wrote the resignations and went through his emails, but we didn't find much. I broke down a bit and cried on her shoulder. I am so bottled up. I needed to let some out. That's all for now. I wish to thank everyone whom gave me advice and compassion for a situation. I will be taking care of my husband, but I am so angry and sad. Those people destroyed the man of my life. I want to be hopeful, but I'm not sure he will go back to how he was before. Wish us luck. And relevant comments. Hey, Nani Mooses says, best wishes that he can recover from this. He will need to recover his health and figure out why he was complacent in their abuse. You will have to figure out how to trust your husband not to martyr himself again. I hope you can both heal and perhaps get some counseling. And Opie responds, thank you. I don't know when or if I'll trust him to have a healthy work-life balance. I made it clear to him he's staying home for at least a month now. It's pretty awesome how much he cares.
Yeah, she's really on top of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it like brings a good question. Like, how do you make sure that you don't like just murder your soul?
I think that, yeah. I think that people often get stuck in jobs, as we see here, not or just because it's something that they know.
Yeah.
It's not that there aren't other jobs out there that, you know, could pay them enough and they would be happy. And it's just, it's hard to leave, you know.
And it's also like, I feel it's like, it's hard to know what jobs are out there. And then it's hard to know how to even access those jobs.
Or how to, what to research, what to look up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, kind of what you, or some people don't know what they want either.
Yeah. It's like, and some people know what they want for sure. But even if you're like, oh, I want to get into, let's say, YouTube.
Yeah. How do I do that?
Can you teach us?
How do you do that?
Yeah.
And often it's not through like going on LinkedIn and applying to jobs there. I mean, Riley, perfect example. He just reached out to us on TikTok and was like, I want to work for you guys.
You guys should just like, I don't know, find a brother of yours.
Everyone can do it, but you, it's embarrassing.
Or nepotism, that works too.
Hey, I worked for this job. Sam made me apply.
Yeah, stiff competition.
Yeah, so Sam gave me one day to make a TikTok, and I didn't even know how to edit.
Also, to be fair, Sue Sophia, I mean, yes, she's a Nepo baby, but
I'm a YouTube Nepo baby.
But she worked for me on my other company for free for 3 years.
For 3 years, yeah. And
she was great.
I had to learn everything.
Did you lead a team?
I did, yeah. I was the audio editor team lead.
Yeah, were you audio team lead or you were producer? I don't think you were ever team lead.
Maybe I was just producer.
But you were a producer.
Because I was still under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We like collaborated on a lot of projects before this one.
Mm-hmm. So I was only a little bit. I was a podcast Nepo baby.
She was vetted. If Sophia sucked, I wouldn't have brought her onto the team.
Yeah. That's good.
It's true.
Yeah.
He kept testing me.
I do have a question. What do you do with people that have to work jobs to provide for their family? How can they still do something that I guess they're passionate about, but might not have some time? Because I know a lot of people that work in like factories or work jobs that like, I don't know how to say it, blue collar jobs, for example. What do people do in that scenario?
I think it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's really hard when you don't have that time, when you're trying to support a family and you don't have the time to actually go out and look for another job.
Yeah, like obviously Sophia and I you know, we grew up and were able to go to like college and stuff. And so like there's a lot of privilege there. But I think like really it just comes down to, do you have time to acquire a skill?
Yeah, because some people don't. Some people have to support families and don't even have time to like bake dinner for, you know.
Barely surviving here.
Yes, and there's those people, and there's a lot of people that like will spend time just like watching TikTok or like watching movies and TV shows. And I understand like you got to relax and chill. But if you really want something, there has to be certain
I think you just have to look at your circumstances and you're like, do I have the time to branch out? And am I unhappy in this job?
And you know, there's like plenty of stories of people working their way out of like poverty. It just creates like it just creates a better society. Yeah. When you have social mobility, because that's like social. Well, that's just like hope. Like America's built off hope. Yeah. You know, and like.
Well, that's the whole thing of being able to pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
That is the American dream.
Except they make it extremely hard to do that.
Well, it's actually just dependent on. So this ties into my piece of advice. Look up social mobility of different towns and try to move there.
Yeah.
There's like places in North Dakota that are like 16%, 18%.
Wow.
Like something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess cities that have more integrated communities, there would be more ability to escape those
Ew.
caps. But you know what I want to be in the action of? This next story that comes from our subreddit r/OKOP show.
No
We
freaking
love when
way.
you submit because actually someone is blowing up. We had another one, reached like 1 million views. So
What?
if you want your story to be heard,
By
go to
everyone in the
r/OKOP
world.
show. So this comes from We Theme Music, and they say, my female 22, boyfriend, male 25, and I have been together for over a year and a half. We have a 7-month-old together. Wow. Before the baby was born, he agreed to marriage, and then we decided that it was better to get to know each other more before doing that. He knows that marriage before we have another child is important to me and agreed to it, and we agreed we want another child before our baby is 4. In couples therapy this past weekend, he revealed that he isn't sure he will ever want to be married.
Whoa.
He said he is committed to me just the same, but is not sure about marriage. This is news to me. OP, that's rough. That's rough.
That's super messed up.
So I guess before they were married, they got pregnant, had the baby. The baby's 7 months old, and they're thinking about another one. And before that, they're like, let's get married.
Yeah. OP says, let's get married.
Which I
and
think-
then the partner says, I don't know about that.
Looks like we have a problem here.
I understand. Like, I feel like marriage is kind of unimportant until you have kids.
Yeah.
I think it's more important when that
Just
comes
like,
around.
like in terms of taxes and legal
stuff.
things.
Yeah. Just like ties things up more nicely. He said he's committed to me just the same, but is not sure about marriage. This is news to me. I said in the appointment that I understand that his feelings come from seeing his parents' poor marriage growing up and that they fought daily. But I continue to say that what he said hurt me because I feel like I've been led on. He said he will talk to his personal therapist about why he feels the way he does about marriage, but it could take years to figure out. Whoa. Well, at least you guys both have therapy. That's a good starting point. It's been 2 days and he's upset with me that I am upset and saying that I am going to give him an ultimatum or force him to marry me. I do not want to marry someone who doesn't want to marry me. I don't think it's fair that I have already spent 18 months with him being told that we will get married before we try for another kid. And now he is saying he may never want to get married. He thinks it would be fine to just be boyfriend and girlfriend forever. While yes, some relationships have that dynamic and work perfectly, that is not the future I want for myself and my daughter. My boyfriend is saying I'm the a-hole for not being more understanding and willing to wait and see what happens. But that could take years. Fertility issues run in my family, and I don't want to wait years and years for him to decide if he wants marriage or not. So am I the a-hole for telling him I feel blindsided and led on? Clarification, I'm not looking for anyone to tell me I shouldn't have had my daughter. Those comments will be ignored.
You are not the a-hole.
You're not the a-hole. I think like something that we've talked about on the show a lot is like when two people agree on something and it's like, hey, we have a firm agreement of how we're going to move forward, especially when you have a kid and stuff, like you're building your relationship on that agreement. And when the agreement is taken away, then you have to like rebuild the relationship from there. And what your boyfriend is doing, he's kind of taking away this expectation.
And also he's kind of putting you, or he's trying to put you into this purgatory of, oh, maybe like he's leading you on, even if he wasn't necessarily leading you on previously. If you accepted this, he is leading you on by saying, well, I might want to get married, but also there's a chance that in a couple of years I won't marry you.
He's playing you.
I also think it's important to talk about in the same way that he has talked about the reasons that he doesn't want to get married.
Yeah.
Like
why do you want to get married?
Why do you want to get married? And why are those reasons important to you?
Yeah. Because I don't think that you have to get married. I don't think every couple has to get married. But if those reasons are important to you, then they should be important to your partner. Yeah. And if it's not, then
I think I think you can communicate to him what those are. And what OP did say is she wants commitment.
Yeah.
Right. And like, I guess if speaking for OP and you let us know what you think, like OP wants commitment from their partner. Marriage to OP is a signal of that commitment.
Yeah.
Whereas like, anyone can just have a kid, right? And then run out or whatever. But marriage is that commitment. And OP is seeing this lack of wanting to get married as a lack of wanting to commit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, I guess we haven't really heard why he doesn't want to get married other than,
his parents.
But, I don't know. Shady.
I feel like it might be that
doesn't feel like a super strong reason to me.
No, it feels like an unwillingness to commit.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think if they're not willing to commit to you the way that you want them to, that's
Yeah, but is OP ready to walk away?
Yeah, I think you're right. Having a conversation and saying, these are the reasons that I want to get married. And if you're still after the marriage or like the counseling, the couples counseling.
Yeah.
And after you present those things, then maybe reevaluating the relationship, because it seems like these things are important to you. And I don't think that's wrong.
And you have a kid together. So it's like, I think it makes this level of communication even more important.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, do I think your boyfriend is the a-hole?
I think he's a little bit the a-hole.
I think what's good is you're both like in therapy and seeking, it seems like you're both seeking to resolve this.
Yeah.
Which is good. I think it makes sense that you feel led on because he explicitly said that he was going to be down for marriage.
And he's explicitly saying, I want to lead you on again. I want to keep leading you on.
Yeah. So I think he is the a-hole for not sticking to his word.
I think so too. And for implying that he wants to keep leading her on. I think that's, so I think even suggesting that of, I might, if you stay with me, I might marry you. It's like giving, I think, false hope if he's not actually planning to do that. Yeah.
Manipulative.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
when he knows that she wants that.
Exactly. And you've been together for, over a year, 18 months like that. I think you deserve a commitment. Yeah. Especially if one was kind of.
Also, there is a world where he could say, I want to marry you, but like in a year.
Yeah. Which is okay too.
That would be fine. I feel like if he had given you a deadline, or not a deadline, but a kind of schedule per se of when he was a timeline. There we go.
Or just even like and it doesn't have to be a strict timeline, but just the intention needs to be there.
Just the intention. Right now, there is no intention.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be
there was you know what? Actually, it would be a different story if there was never an intention.
Yeah.
If there was never an intention, that's fine.
There's a wishy-washy intention.
But if there was an intention and that intention is pulled back, especially if it was clearly communicated.
Yeah.
I think that is a little a-holy. So OP, you're part of the OK fam. Sorry you're having to deal with all this, but just know you are not the a-hole.
I agree.
But you're doing all the right things to resolve this by doing individual therapy.
Am I the a-hole for going out to eat without my husband/kids because they didn't wash the dishes? All I know is maybe you can go out to eat without your family, but as long as you always #eat out the rich.
Whoa.
That's all I'm saying.
Shout out.
This comes from cardiologist Least404, who says, both my husband and I work full time. I work real estate and he works at a shipyard. We both collectively work around 50 to 60 hours per week. We have 4 kids, 13-year-old twins, a 12-year-old, and an 8-month-old. Wow, what a range. My husband has every weekend off. I do not. I implicated a chore system from the time my kids were little, but ever since I had the baby and since the kids are older, all of them have slacked off tremendously, including husband. I pick our baby up from daycare around 5 p.m. and when I get home, I usually find my husband on the couch on his phone and the kids in their rooms playing video games / watching makeup tutorials.
Maybe you should watch cleaning tutorials.
Do that. Learn how to
think about that.
Learn how to scrub a surface. Scrub. The house is generally a mess, and honestly, the only issue I have is the dishes. I couldn't give F all about anything else because the rest of the house generally isn't dirty, just cluttered. But I have expressed several times that I am tired of having to wash all the dishes in order to cook and have lashed out in some not so nice ways. Shut off the internet entirely and took the cord with me to work so no one could use the Wi-Fi / watch TV. Dude, go off.
Yes. Punish them.
I've canceled family trips. Groundation.
I have no idea.
Grounding, maybe. Passing out some groundings. Got into big arguments with my husband. Things will change for a week to a month and then switch right back to them refusing to help. I'm honestly so tired of it that I don't even have the energy to speak up anymore. As I said, my husband has weekends off, so he and the kids were home yesterday while I worked. Before I took off for the day, I told them, you guys' chores had better be completed by the time I get home. Classic mom line. Mm-hmm. If there was a classic mom line, if ever I heard one,
that one,
it's that. They said, yes, ma'am. And I leave. I texted my husband around 4:30 p.m. asking what they all wanted for dinner because I had to stop at the grocery store. I pick up what he said they all wanted and walk into my home to find that not a single dish, ne'er a spoon nor fork had been washed. And there was at least 10 dishes in the sink from when I left that morning.
No.
I also noted that only a load of laundry had been washed and was still sitting in the washer and was never switched to the dryer.
And now it smells mildewy.
Moldy.
Yuck.
Moldy clothes.
Yuck.
Husband was on his butt on the couch watching YouTube. Don't do that unless it's our show. And kids are off playing video games. Baby in her walker like a coward.
What is the baby doing?
First,
Step up.
learn to walk, then step up and clean some gosh darn dishes. All right. Come on. So I put the groceries on the table, packed a bag for the baby, and told my husband, have at it. I'm going to Applebee's.
Hell yeah.
And I left. I'm getting the 2 for $20, all for myself. Now, maybe 20 minutes later, he calls and says, I washed the dishes. Sorry, I was super tired today.
I don't care.
I don't know why he's Eeyore, but here we are.
Super tired.
I told him that's zero excuse at all.
Yeah.
Zero. There's 3 older kids who we can get to work, a little machine of children.
He's just teaching them all that they don't have to do anything.
What happened to a united front, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Unite that front. You know what I'm saying? At least delegate.
Delegate.
If anything. You could be, at least if you were a delegating hypocrite, you still could have sat on the couch and at least gotten the dishes done, which was ultimately what your wife asked for.
Literally. Could have done that.
Could have done it. There's 3 older kids who have chores, and he couldn't even step up and tell his kids to complete anything either. It's pure laziness at this point. He said, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm trying to work on it. Can you just come home? I don't know how to make this dish.
Too freaking bad.
It's a pretty difficult dish, but Google is free.
Oh!
Last time I checked.
Oh my God, I love OP.
Okay, OP is sounding off right now.
OP's freaking done.
Sound off, sis.
Sound off.
I told him, no, I'm sitting my butt at Applebee's and will be enjoying my steak and shrimps with the baby in peace. And that him and the older kids can fend for themselves. Because apology or not, I'm not letting him off the hook here. To be honest, quite frankly, do we let the baby off the hook here? No. I don't know.
No.
The baby's done nothing. Listen, if you don't say I don't care if you can't speak words.
Learn.
If you
learn. Learn how to talk and speak up.
Yeah. Learn to talk first.
The question of this is do you stand up for your partner?
Wow. First question, can you stand? Second question, can't you stand up? Oh, goodness gracious. He had me on speakerphone, so him and all the kids laid right into me, asking me to please grab them something from Applebee's.
No.
It's all their favorite restaurant.
I don't care.
I said absolutely not.
I said absolutely not.
Ooh, get him with the puns. I said absolutely not and hung up the phone. Click. When I returned home.
Not home.
When I returned home, the groceries had been put away and apparently they had grilled cheese and cereal for dinner.
Literally.
Bro, Dad.
You're a disappointment.
Dude, Dad's he was already looking bad.
How do you not know? If you're a parent, you need to know. You don't have to be a 5-star restaurant chef.
No.
You got to know how to cook basic meals.
Make like
eggs.
Okay, you have to be able to cook beyond eggs. I'm sorry. If you're a parent, you need to be able to cook beyond eggs.
Like you could throw some like asparagus on a pan.
Literally.
Throw a salmon on a pan.
So easy. Most foods are incredibly easy to cook.
My husband and kids are still pissed at me. I told them this is how it will be every single time they don't do chores from now on.
Good.
Am I the a-hole?
No.
That's a no.
No.
I think you kind of give them
You told
chances.
them so many times.
I think I don't think you have to do this. If there's anything even in that sort of kind of arena, you could say just give the children one final warning of like, if you don't do it, you're going to be I'm gonna go eat by myself, me and the baby. You're going to have to clean everything. You're going to have to make your own food. And every single time after that, you'll have to do that. But I don't think she needed to do that.
No, I think she had already grounded them. She had done all of the other punishments. She's like, okay, you know what?
At her wit's end.
Make your own food. And honestly, he could have ordered something.
Literally. Come on. Oh, Yogi says he couldn't even do breakfast for dinner. Dad is a doctor's appointment. Truly, even honestly, like, again, some bacon, egg, pancake, like that's at least better than grilled cheese and cereal.
I had a family, like a friend when I was at like a family friend's place. I think I stayed the night, or no, I was sleeping over, and they were like breakfast for dinner, and I had never had that. And this was like somewhat recently.
Breakfast for dinner is literally the most fire thing ever.
I've never done that before.
Christian does that every day.
Because he wakes up at night.
This guy, he wakes up and he says, should I make, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. And he's like, should I make hot dogs or breakfast? And what did he say? He said hot dogs.
Yeah.
Big
He made himself hot dogs at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Well, okay, to be fair, 11 o'clock is only 1 hour away from lunch.
It's still morning.
I am honestly in the camp with Riley that when I wake up, I want to eat breakfast foods first.
See, I go by whatever I'm closest to. If I'm if I haven't eaten and it's closer to lunch, then I will just eat lunch.
I'm not like hungry for like.
I'm hungry for food.
I have this like yearning. Although now at this point, I have stopped eating so many foods. I eat chocolate granola and salmon.
I need to pick up. I haven't picked up groceries like legitimately in a hot minute because we've been traveling and then I've been just a lot's been going on, so I haven't had groceries.
It's true.
And I don't have anything to eat for breakfast.
I bought my boyfriend an anniversary gift on his credit card. Am I the a-hole?
Could be okay. Let's see.
I, 23 female, and my boyfriend, 27 male, all call Mark. We've been together for 3 years now, and I decided I wanted to get my boyfriend a gift. Our anniversary is coming up, and I wanted to do something really nice for him. He's a guitarist and has been wanting this one particular guitar, Jackson King V-Series Pro. He talks about it, and he'd love to own one. So I always heard the best gift is something that someone wants, but will never get for themselves. Also, this comes from Snickwish 1922 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I was at a guitar store looking for a gift or something, and then I saw it. It was the Jackson King 5 Series Pro.
Doubloons.
It was not exactly the one he always showed me, but it was close enough. It had the weird part where the strings attach with a little lever thingy. I like the whammy, I guess. And the bottom of the guitar is all spiked. Sorry, I don't know guitars. I knew he wanted it, so I thought I would surprise him. We are by no means rich, but we live comfortably, so I didn't think he'd mind paying $2,400. Also, I love how OP is framing this. Like, the best thing about a gift is like getting something for them they wouldn't get for themselves. But I would get them, but they want it. And so all you got to do is just take their money and get it to them.
Yeah, of course.
That's what a good gift is.
That's what it is. That's how it works.
I ended up buying him the guitar. I did use his credit card, which in hindsight, I guess, wasn't a good idea. I just figured it won't matter since he never makes me pay for anything. I figured it would be an okay gift, $2,400.
Genius.
I took it out of the case it came with and propped it up in the living room and was waiting for Mark to get home. When he came in, I hugged him, kissed him, and told him, "Happy anniversary. I got you something special." He went into the living room and just about jumped through the roof with excitement. He instantly started thanking me and telling me about how special this particular guitar was in comparison to the regular King 5. And I just said, what can I say? I have good taste. And we talked, and then it happened.
Uh-oh.
How much did you end up paying for this thing? Mark asked. And I nonchalantly answered, it was like $2,500. But I don't think we will have any problem paying it off.
Dude. Come on.
You subconsciously knew the entire time it was not okay, or like that. Like this, like.
Oh, shit! This is so silly.
So bad.
Also,
So
I'm looking
stupid.
at the votes right now. 100% of people say it's a bad idea to buy someone a gift with their own money.
Bad.
Which, I mean, I don't know how it isn't a good, like how it would be a good idea.
I mean, there's like many cases of like two people are married, they've like either commingled or there's one like main breadwinner, and then at that point it's like,
But they're not married.
no, they don't apply at all. There's cases where it is okay, but good, but this is so not one of them.
So not one of them.
Not even funny.
Then he just stared and asked me what I was talking about.
Shock. Too shock.
I proceeded to explain how I wanted to do something nice, but $2,400 was a bit much up front, so I put it on his credit card and I figured we'd pay it off together. Mark is not an angry person, but he was more angry than I imagined he could be. He just started yelling at me. I know I messed up, but he could at least be a bit grateful that someone cares as much as I do, right?
What were you thinking?
I bought this for you with your own money.
Dude.
But he ended up bringing it back to the guitar store, but I guess they can't return it because it was on a CC or something. I don't remember. Oh, because it was on a credit card.
Oh.
But when he got home, I thought he'd be in a better mood, but he didn't end up coming home until it was late. Then when he did, he went straight to bed. This was 2 days ago, and he still hasn't spoken to me, and there is an update. But Avery from the Swamp says, girl, that was so dumb.
So stupid.
So stupid. I mean, like, how are you this dumb? I'm not saying that to you. I'm just
No. Yeah.
Who am I?
Yeah. This is so crazy. I don't get it. I don't
understand how someone could do that. Like, I like the whole idea of a present is you do something nice for someone that they wouldn't necessarily do for themselves, but because like maybe they don't have the money or they don't want to pay stuff like that, and so you unburden them from having to pay that.
Yeah.
OP is just like, I'm just gonna start buying friends yachts on their credit card, but like, dude, I did something really nice for you. Be grateful.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have that yacht without me. And then they're like, well, yeah, I wouldn't be in crippling debt without you either.
Yeah. And the amount of the purchase, because it's like some things you'd be like, oh, it was $100. It's like, okay, $100, like, that's a good bit of money. But
$100 is a lot. Like
exactly. It's relative, but
$2,400
to almost any human on earth is like crazy.
Unless they're
crazy.
Not
unless
any
they're
human,
doing
but
bank.
there are a lot of humans.
All
There's
right,
some
yeah,
humans out
okay.
there.
A lot
but
of
unless they're
humans.
making like, I don't know, what, like maybe like 20, 30 grand a month or something.
Yeah, that's
which
the
is
only
like
way this is.
top 1%, especially
You know
in this
what?
age range.
I'm gonna say like 500 grand a year.
Yeah.
Like, and this is like a not noticeable blip where it's like, okay, it's not that big because it hasn't impacted me that much.
Yeah.
2,400, like, I don't
That's
know.
a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Duchess Cassandra says, I think she's a bit of an airhead. Kelsey Hoff, who's a new Stick Gang member. No, that's
Sticks.
terrible. Honey Hill Apiary says, my ex-wife bought me a car by using a POA to take a loan out in my name. What's a POA?
Yeah, what is a POA?
What's a POA? A
Let's look
person,
it up. Person of action?
Person of action.
Of accountability? I don't know.
Power of attorney?
Oh.
Plan of action? Those are
She was like, I'm a power of attorney.
Attorney for you. That is sick. So basically, like, you could become a power of attorney of someone and like do things legally on their behalf.
Yeah.
So she used her like
Power of
attorney to take the loan out in his name without his like consent or permission or anything.
Dude, can
That
you
has to be
imagine
illegal.
if I'm like, John, dude, I did something really nice. I did
tell
something
me
really
that.
nice for you.
Yeah.
I bought you a house.
Wow.
Bought you a house.
I mean, dude, wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
You deserve it. You deserve it. By
Thank
the
you.
way, you're $1 million in debt.
Oh. It doesn't work. You
You're
see?
welcome.
You just saw it.
You are welcome.
In real life.
You're welcome. But we do have an update here. So thank you everyone for comments, even if you guys were a bit harsh. I can now see perfectly clearly how extremely foolish I had been. I like to address something I mistakenly said, as well as an update on events of last few days. For starters, I did not buy a Pro Series King 5. The guitar I actually purchased was a Jackson King 5 Select Series KV2, and it was used, in case you were wondering. So Mark has been staying with his mom for the last couple of days, and we finally had a chance to sit and work this out. We went to a small pizza place and eat and talk. I paid.
Thank God.
Yeah, dude, I paid for like $4 pizza.
Yeah, I paid for some pizzas.
It made up for it, right?
Yeah,
We're
babe,
equal. We're equal.
You pay for some things, I pay for some things. I get you $1 slice. I get you a guitar with your own money. You
Boom.
know?
What's the problem?
Bada bing, bada boom. Equal partners. He explained why he was upset and basically said everything you guys said. I apologized, and we began to figure out what's going to happen next. I took some advice from here, and I took a few of my expensive clothes to a designer clothes store called Future Fashion and got them looked at to see if they'd be worth anything. I have some Supreme stuff, just like a few hoodies and a few stickers, and that I got for my birthday.
What a hater.
Yeah, the Supreme stickers.
Okay, oh, I'm so cool. I got this. Guys, look at my laptop.
Is the Supreme sticker worth anything?
Oh my God. Yeah, people be putting stuff on it.
So what? How
Well,
much
they
is
sold a brick for like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like
a limited edition
I feel
Supreme
like-
sticker?
like you could probably pay like up to $20 or so.
Sir, Supreme sticker?
I feel like for
Maybe.
some of them.
I don't know. That I got for my birthday last year, as well as a couple designer belts, Gucci and Versace, and one Prada handbag. Before you comment, none of these things were gifts from my boyfriend. They are
Jesus.
She returns all the gifts that her boyfriend got her.
That would be
to pay for the guitar.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
It's like that one Christmas story where like, oh, he wants the hat and she wants like the cool like comb, and they both sell everything and they don't get anything. It's just like, oh, this is funny. It's a really
What
dumb,
are you talking
It's
about?
a Christmas story. Like people know that story.
Riley, do you know this story?
I have
John?
It's like a
I'm-
Disney thing, like Mickey and Minnie. It's a huge thing.
All right. If anyone knows what that is in the chat,
Pull it. Yeah, no, it's there.
pull it.
Someone's gonna be like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Noted.
It sounds like that.
Before any of you comment, none of these things were gifts from my boyfriend. They are gifts from my parents. Supreme and belts and handbags are from my shopping spree my mom took me on before I started college, URI. They gave me $375 for the Supreme hoodie. What the? What?
Oh yeah.
Didn't want the stickers, shaking my head. I got 18. Oh, they gave her $375. So like when she sold it. So she got $375 for that. She got $850 for the belts. Damn. And he wouldn't take the Prada back since it's not their specialty, or the Prada bag since it's not their specialty.
That should do it.
But I'm going to take it to a few other places tomorrow, but they said I should be able to get like $900 for the bag. I told my boyfriend that this was my plan, and right now, counting money from my savings account, $500, literally cleaned me out. How do you have $500 in your savings account and like thousands of dollars worth of designer stuff? That is insane.
Happens
to me.
all the time.
It is insane
All
to
the
me
time.
that people like, I don't like this shirt's probably one of the more expensive things I own, and it's like $20 or $30. Like in terms of clothes.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
And it's my friend's company.
You got it for free. I didn't even pay for it, guys.
I actually
This is the most expensive thing I own. I paid $0 for it. I live off trash. I climb in dumpsters.
Well, I paid for it actually, but then
Sorry.
he tracked my name in his system
Right.
and then caught me for it. But this second time, one of my shirts got wrecked in the washing machine, so I bought it through a alias, Jack Mehoff.
Classic.
I'm sorry. What? What was
Jack
that?
Mehoff.
Jack
you know?
Mehoff. So he wouldn't be able to know.
Yeah. There's no way he could guess.
No way he could guess.
Shrouded in secrecy.
Anyway.
She sold her hair. yeah.
Literally cleaned me out, and the stuff I sold, I have $1,750 and the potential $900 for the bag, which should mean, according to my math, $2,625, which means I'll still have some left over to buy him a real gift. I told Mark and he was glad, and he is going to be taking the money to pay off a chunk so that we don't get interest or whatever. I don't know how that works, to be honest. What?
Okay. This is exactly what this is. This is just a spoiled kid. It's a spoiled kid. Her mom takes her on all these things. She doesn't understand the value of money.
That's why she's getting all these crazy
That's why
gifts.
she does it. She has no concept. She's like, oh, well, I take my parents' card and I just go get this. I take his card and I just go get this, whatever.
That's love.
This is literally like she probably does this for her parents. Like on Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Mom, I got you something really nice. I got you a Gucci bag.
And she's
with
like,
your money,
oh
but
my
I got
God.
it for you.
She's going shopping with her to get the Supreme and the Louis belt and like all this stuff.
That makes so much more sense.
She doesn't
She's
even
a
know what
spoiled
interest
rich
is.
kids. Yeah. With nothing but fake friends.
That nice work.
Anyway.
I'm impressed.
All right. Anyway,
There
I'm
we
going
go.
back to it. Back to it again.
Let's go.
Proves my point.
I told Mark, and he was glad, and he's going to be taking the money to pay off a chunk so that we don't get interest or whatever. I don't know how that works, to be honest. As far as our relationship goes, things will be okay. Mark has calmed down and just wants 3 things to happen. First, I'm not allowed to use his card without permission, which most of you predicted.
Boom.
Secondly, I need to show that I fully understand my actions. And 3, pay him back. And you can pay us back by joining our lives every weekday, 3 p.m. PST, right here on YouTube. Just tap our profile. He basically told me as long as those conditions are met, then things will return to normal. He does really like the guitar, which he admitted in a silly way to try and lighten the mood at the end of the talk. And he does appreciate the thought of it. But like you all have said, what I did was wrong, and I will never let it happen again.
Glad that's over.
And I am going to fix it. Sir Fix-a-Lot.
So, I don't know if I'm mad. I think
she's just a sweet cherub.
It's
dumb. That's what she
Sweet
is.
cherub dum-dum.
But it's ignorance, and you know what? Now that she's learning, she is taking the corrective actions. The only thing I could foresee being an issue is like that just kind of like keeps that her ignorance of that kind of thing keeps popping up in other areas. But
you need money to buy a house? I thought like your just grandparents give you the mansion.
Yeah. Wait. What?
Wait, you need money for sushi? I thought your parents just own Nobu.
Wait, why? I'm confused. This seat says economy? Where's the big seats?
I understood
Thank you,
that.
Keon.
I understood that.
So
That was such a dad joke that I was like, wow, maybe I'm getting too old. like I started laughing at that.
Economy.
Yeah.
It says economy.
Sam, you didn't understand that?
Dang it.
Oh my.
God dang it. Bro's over here giving me crickets.
That's what I'm here for, John. That's what I'm here for.
I don't know about economy.
Economy. By the way,
is that Japanese?
I thought you were referencing an anime.
Is that Japanese?
I was
so
like,
funny.
because there's like Comey, like what? Comey gets friends, or what's the thing?
There's also Toonami.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Excuse me for being entrenched in Japanese culture, unlike you freaking uncultured swine.
That's me.
Yeah, you're welcome. But that's
Great. I got it to Riley. Good. I got it to Riley.
That's
now
that's the end of that story. My husband's ex thought he would be a deadbeat dad. She was dead wrong.
Ooh.
Throwaway because I have identifying info on my main. I, female 27, married my husband, male 29, about a year ago, and we've been together for about 4 years. And he has a 4-year-old from a past marriage. Sorry for the upcoming length, but I think all the context is important. By the way, this comes from Thin a Kent the K 252 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. Here's where we already get a little messy. Both my husband and his ex admit they got married too young and for the wrong reasons.
And that emotionally, it ended before they officially said it. They're like, yeah, we cheated, but it was already over.
They can acknowledge that. It's fine.
She also cheated on him with different partners for a large part of their marriage.
Okay, that's not as fine.
All around, just not the right people for each other, which happens. She got pregnant after they had started to think about ending things. And to make a long story short, he and his family, and frankly myself, are convinced that she got pregnant entirely on purpose. Like the cliche poked a hole in the wrapper and initiated spicy sleep while actively tracking her period. Don't know how it went down, but while she was pregnant, she said she wanted a divorce. Fast forward, she had the baby. He tried to stay and make it work for their son, but in the end, they got a divorce, and he and I got together. I did not know him when they were married, to be clear. I love him and his son so deeply, and he and I have a very open conversation on my role as a stepmom. He fought for her to accept a 50-50 custody schedule. Good. Scheduling is up to them, not a judge. After he and I moved in together, after only having him for weekends and paying crazy high child support and still giving her money anytime she said she needed it for their son, I am able to do daycare pickup and drop off while his work schedule didn't allow for that, which is why he only did weekends. So it seems like he kind of got screwed over.
He did not get the fair end of the bargain.
No. So now we have him 50% of the time. He still pays the child support, but does not send her money. And she and I communicate a lot as I take on a relatively traditional mother role. The biological parents still handle all major decisions, but my husband regularly consults with me on them, especially because I have higher education in child development, but every decision and milestone starts a fight between them. She was mad when I gave him a haircut during his time with us. Nothing drastic, just a trim because it was in his eyes, and it wasn't his first. She was upset when we took him to an event on our time because she wanted to take him, but we had no idea, and it was during our regularly scheduled time. She got mad when my husband got him his first bike because she should have been able to do that with him, like my husband isn't allowed to have core memories with his own son as well. There are honestly more, even her getting mad when he called their son's doctor just to ask a general question. And she gets upset when she finds out about me doing anything motherly.
This is literally the exact same energy as like the divorced dad that like shows up, you know, because instead of just being happy that someone is like having a positive impact or relationship with their child,
yeah,
they just feel like you shouldn't be doing that. That's my thing. That's my job. Stop it. Like, who do you think you are? And
he's
it's
being
like
jealous of his child's happiness. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. A recent fight between them was when he asked to lower child support, not even get rid of it, because he and I are both in well-paying jobs and agreed we could afford helping her since we have equally split custody. She lost it and said she is the primary parent and deserves the support. He's just trying to lower it. She lost it and said she is the primary parent and deserves the support. Unkind words were shared and nothing was really resolved. This is such a common trend in our co-parenting, and when venting to my best friends, she suggested that his ex thought he'd be a deadbeat, and she got pregnant to guarantee being a mom and get financial support from him, but didn't expect to have to co-parent or share because she thought he'd be a deadbeat dad. He's very far from it. He's very involved.
sounds like he's the polar. It sounds like if anyone's the deadbeat, it's her.
It made so much sense when she said it out loud. We both do our best, husband and I, to be supportive and help alleviate the strain of being a single parent, even though his ex has a partner, but that's a whole other story. Things like always making sure his ex knows we can be flexible with work to help with childcare needs, no matter whose time it is. We are very flexible with holidays and are always willing to go off the schedule for special events. We'll send photos when he's with us and always do FaceTimes if he's missing his mom, but he has stopped asking lately. Is the mom doing something? Maybe.
I bet you the mom's horrific toxicity is maybe seeping out of her without her realizing it in front of the kid, and her own kid has now just clocked it and been like, she kind of sucks.
I think frustration and insecurity show up in odd ways generally, and like the more insecure you are, you're going to subtly show that to everyone around you, and like children are extremely emotionally perceptive.
Yes.
They can't necessarily intellectualize it.
Right.
But
they pick up on the vibe
and will distance themselves. If anyone has advice on how to navigate this co-parenting relationship so our son can grow up with as little trauma from split households as possible, I'd greatly appreciate it. I think the hard thing about this is like, I don't know if there's much you can do unless you legally do something. Like, I feel like
she's not reasonable. She can't really be talked to. We got an update. This will likely be my one and only update, especially since it's a throwaway. It's a long one and will probably leave people angry and with more assumption. My husband read a lot of these comments as well, and he did talk just about everything that we brought up. He decided to call his ex, and while recording it, since that's one of the most heavily recommended things, he asked if she would be open to getting together to talk about co-parenting in general. He also told her he was recording this call and asked if it was okay, and she admitted to recording their last phone call as well. She asked if I was there because she wanted me on the call as well, and I was, since I was recording on my phone. She said their son was with her mom at the moment and asked if we could all talk a little about it now, and then yes, they could all meet, but she wanted me there as well as her current partner. I think that's okay. My husband planned on just asking if they could switch their communication to a co-parenting app and letting her know that he would be having a mediator reaching out to her shortly. He decided on one of the three he has already talked to. So he did just that, and she agreed to change their communication on an app, and they agree on that, and this would also be admissible in court. But initially rejected the idea of a mediator. She asked that they do it that way he first tried to because she knew her child support would likely go away fully based on their first court order. Yeah, basically she's worried about her child support going away. She went on to say that she really doesn't have a problem with me, not with me being a stepmom or how my husband and I got together, and actually likes me and how I chose to love their son and be involved rather than just be an involved wife. This seems really healthy so far.
Because her behavior was completely like the opposite of that.
Too.
Yeah.
Initially, she didn't care about me doing things like getting him clothes or doing things with him and my husband overall being involved when it was only weekends. But her shift came when it was changed to a week on, week off. That's when she admitted she struggled and was angry because she never expected my husband to want that much time with her son, despite him telling her he would at the time that they officially agreed on a divorce. My husband admitted that he could have offered a gradual shift to the new schedule or a conversation like this at the time. He did hold firm on the mediator and said it was in everyone's best interest to map out a parenting plan to include things like what big milestones and decisions will we commit to, discussing beforehand, like when does he get a cell phone, and what things are fine to make decisions on without consulting the other parent, and an agreement that I am a parental figure, with the awareness that I am not and will never be a biological mom. It will be very comprehensive and will be submitted when the child support goes to a judge, as that is the next step. And all the rules that apply to my role in that agreement would also apply to her partner in the future once they are married. The entire agreement is to be revisited every 2 years, at least until he is 18. This seems incredibly balanced. I'm ready for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, for real. It's like, you said this was going to make us angry, dude. Where's the anger? I'm not angry yet.
Yeah, but if you want to assuage your anger, you can join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile right here on YouTube.
Tap.
This conversation has been needed for some time, and I have a feeling there will be some more coming with the mediator and in general, but they're all in the best interest of our son. And I believe they're pretty capable of being civil and healthy. We'll see how it goes. I feel like I've answered a lot of the questions, and some are frankly just wrong assumptions about things I said or didn't say. On the other hand, I really appreciate some of the things said in this comment section. Co-parenting is different for every situation, and we are working on finding what is best for ours. And that's it.
Well, I guess I'm glad that nothing else bad happened. The beginning was kind of anger-inducing.
She did explain like she was just not prepared for him to be so involved, and so there was resistance to that, and I guess she eventually felt better about it.
What a wild thing to just assume, like, out of hand, just
that he wouldn't be involved.
That he's like, yeah, I can tell this guy's not gonna want to spend any time with this kid.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, joke's on you.
She totally just used him as like a bank and a regular bank.
I want to break up with my girlfriend for having no motivation, but she won't let me.
Because she's unmotivated as well.
She's like, wow, we'll get to it. We'll get back to that.
We'll figure it out later.
I, male 24, met a girl, female 22, in a community college class when I was 20. We came from very different backgrounds. I was middle class, trying to find a cheaper way to go to college. She was living in almost poverty going to school because she was forced to by her parents, who were threatening to kick her out.
Oh, wow.
By the way, this comes from Coco Tub on the Best of Editor Updates subreddit. So she dropped out about a year into her schooling while I continued and finished. During her first year, we formed a relationship and she moved into my apartment, more or less. Her relationship with her parents is pretty much non-existent and she has little to no outside friends besides 1 or 2 women she knew from high school who are deadbeats, in my opinion. I make around $80K a year, so we live relatively comfortably, but there's still some strain on finances. I can't say exactly when I started losing feelings, but the fact that she refuses to work, will not cook, and wants to eat out every day, does not want to go to school, and continuously wants to buy and spend money on clothes and other stuff, just slowly started grating on me more and more.
Dude, I know someone like this. I know someone like this.
This is frustrating.
They don't have any hobbies. They just like to eat food and shop.
That's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Tell us the name.
I can't.
Yeah, you can't.
I can't. I'm
Just
just praying
kidding.
that they don't watch this show.
No,
That's
I feel
how
like
well I know
I
'em.
feel like when you're, you want to have like some hobbies in
Yeah,
just
like
in
be a
general.
foodie, be
Yeah.
like a fashion person.
Cooking, so that you
I can't even go into more detail.
Yeah.
I'll start pissing people off. But
I work I work in a female-dominated workplace, and having conversations and interacting with the coworkers who have so much going for them, have fun hobbies and aspirations makes it all the more worse when your girlfriend is chronically online and spends 7 hours a day scrolling through Instagram or TikTok reels and thinks having spicy sleep is all she needs to do on her end. Damn.
yeah, she's just like low key. She's rotting, dude.
Yeah, she's in a rotting
She's
era.
just existing, but that's it.
Our relationship isn't bad. We have fights every now and then like an average couple. Have an active spicy sleep life, but that's pretty much it. From her perspective, if I broke up with her, it would be out of nowhere. But I'm pretty much done. And know I could move on quickly and have nothing to be regretful about, as crappy as it sounds. The problem comes in her having no job, no finances, almost no friends, and no family support unit.
Oh,
I'm not a monster. I don't want to make someone virtually homeless, but I don't want to be stuck with someone who has nothing going for them either. I don't want it. I don't know what to do. And there is an edit and an update.
So, read the edit.
Thank you all for the advice on the post. I don't know if the sub allows updates, but I'll talk to her tomorrow about this and start the process of working this out.
Okay, good. Because they care for her as a person and want her well-being to be good. And it sounds like an intervention.
I think so. I think this is something that you could talk to her about. But I also understand that just like wanting to be with someone who has aspirations and their life is going somewhere, like you want someone who excites you and stuff.
Yeah.
I get that. Like I think I want to be like with a partner. For me, I want to be impressed by them.
Yes, and not be complacent. I refuse to be complacent in my relationship. It'll be the death of it.
Like my life, I don't want to just sit around, which is not to say that this is not, for other people this works, but for me personally, I
but if
I
you're
want to travel and
if you're sitting around, you're watching the new arcade, you're playing Minecraft.
Exactly.
You're still doing something that excites you.
Well, that I think is different. I think there's a difference between having time spending together where like you're playing, I mean, even video games is a hobby.
Yeah.
Yes,
like
it
you're doing it
is.
together and you're, those are things that you can do together that are kind of relaxing things.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between doing it like, a couple days a week rather than 7 days a week, 24/7. You are just sitting there on your phone and being
for
literally
7 hours.
Well, it doesn't even seem like she's playing video games. It's just
she's just on TikTok or
Death
Instagram and
scrolling.
just like, all right, let's do
scrolling.
spicy stuff, and that's our day.
Yeah.
That was fun, wasn't it? Let's do this
Yeah.
again tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No,
yeah.
And I think that's where if you hit that wall, you
Yes.
definitely got to talk to them.
Yeah.
You gotta talk.
And if they don't change, if that's their if that is their personality trait, that's draining.
Yeah, Harriet Spaghetti, they just seem incompatible.
Yeah. Update next day.
Uh-oh.
For starters, I want to thank everyone for all the advice I was given on the last thread, as it helped me formulate how I would go about doing this. When I made that post, I was having an extremely bad day and didn't expect it to blow up like it did. So I don't think I was able to give her a fair defense. Also, I got dozens of messages ranging from asking me to hand out her contact info so they could take her in as a live-in spicy sleep girlfriend.
What the hell?
Oh,
That's gross.
Thanks, internet.
Disgusting.
Okay.
To helpful advice telling me to start hiding anything valuable.
Oh.
If OP thinks that's helpful, then is this a problem that's already happened? When I had said that she had come from poverty, her father is a laborer, while her mother also lives a similar lifestyle to how she lives now. Their home is maybe 1,100 square feet and in a terrible place in town. And given her father's past ultimatum, I don't think he will take her back as she hasn't been home in years. Yes, I have talked to her about this since January, maybe 3 times. Either by gently telling her it would be nice if she went out more to find a hobby, at the very least, to flat out saying she was wasting away on her phone and that she needs to get a job or go back to school. Each time she either changed the subject, makes it a joke, or follows through with a couple of days before going back to her usual self.
Oh, man.
She is a kind partner who asks me about my day, always tries to make me laugh or lighten the mood when I get annoyed, and generally shows a lot of affection, which makes me feel terrible when none of that works anymore, and I just see her as another person. Now for the confrontation.
Real quick.
Yes.
I feel like for someone that is in their ways, they will not change until something dramatic happens in their life. Like in my last relationship, I was not in a good place mentally, and I was kind of gaining some weight. And then whenever we broke up, I was able to fix myself mentally and lose a lot of weight. I lost like 25 pounds after like 3 months.
Way to go, buddy.
Thank you. And I feel like it's going to be hard, and hopefully something dramatic may need to happen in her life and that she can take it well.
Yeah.
That's my hope for this.
Yeah, it might be.
It sucks, but a reality check is a reality check.
Yeah.
And that's what you need sometimes.
Ellie says, I feel like she is struggling with depression and ADHD because I've been this person before and that was my issue. Yeah, I mean, I hope that she can get some kind of clarity and stuff about this. Last night when we were, now for the confrontation. Last night when we were both getting ready for bed, I didn't take my clothes off and instead just stood there telling her we needed to talk. At first she was smiling and jumping up and down on the bed with her knees, thinking I wasn't as serious as I was, but eventually she was able to read the mood. I told her something wasn't feeling right anymore, that I've tried to make this work and be patient with her for the past few years, but I didn't know how much more time I was willing to spend waiting for her to get a job, go back to school, or just get a hobby, or anything. I told her that it annoyed and grated me that she didn't seem to care about herself and that I hated she had no goals or aspirations. This was probably the first time in a long time she was as attentive as she's ever been during this conversation and agreed to whatever I was saying, and even also giving suggestions on where she could apply, what courses were starting to interest her, and even said I could look over her as she submitted applications online to make sure she wasn't lying. In her head, it seemed like I was still willing to make this work. And a part of me believed this would finally be the moment that she would change. So it made the next part even harder for me and for her. At first, I told her I didn't love her the same way, which slowly but eventually led to me saying I didn't feel anything at all about this relationship and was jaded. I was tired and wanted a fresh start with someone who was more goal-oriented and wanted something more out of life. When she realized what I was getting at, she started to cry and asked why I didn't mention this sooner. And I've said I've always asked her to cook, to go out with me, to try something out, or to just go back to school, even when I offered to pay for her classes, anything. She says she understands that part, but was upset why I didn't say it was leading to me losing interest in her, because from her perspective, it seemed as if I still loved her all the same. She started apologizing, saying she wasn't in the right mental state, and saying nothing was motivating her, and she genuinely had no interest in any hobbies. The only thing she liked was spending time with me, which is all she looked forward to in the day when I came home. Damn. Ooh, this is so tough. This is so tough. Because I understand what he's saying of like I just don't have interest anymore, but also I totally get what she's saying of like, it didn't feel like you brought this up in a way that communicated you had a problem with it.
Yeah, because it was like in passing.
Yes.
Ugh, that's so tough. Yeah, and then over time he's resented her.
Yeah.
And
communicate that. If you have actual problems, sit down and be like, this is a problem in our relationship, and you like, I need to see some change.
Yeah, don't wait for it to wait till the end. Be like,
wait until the end.
Yeah, this is a serious conversation that we should have had 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh man.
I'm over you now.
Hate this. None of this was really affecting my emotions besides making me feel uncomfortable, so I tried to continue by saying, I think her lifestyle would be better with another person. But she immediately cut me off and became more panicked. She started to apologize again for what she's done and said she would be a better girlfriend, that she would go with me tomorrow to wherever I wanted to go and would look for courses in August that she could start doing. But she did not. But she did not want to lose me since she had nothing else in life and absolutely hated that I stopped loving her. There were so many tears and snot that I said we would have this conversation again when she calmed down, and we eventually did in an hour or so. She pleaded to give her 2 months to make a change and give her another chance, and promised that she would change. Again, she listed off all the places she would apply to and said she would be a better partner.
No, that's
No.
That's
the
not.
thing is that she needs to do it for herself. Yeah. Like, if she's doing it for another person, it's not going to stick.
See that? Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? I passed it off to her. I
Passed
was
it right
visually
into my
giving
brain.
her my thoughts
Yep,
and expressions.
I took them.
Yeah, because this is not going to last
No.
if you're doing this for
Someone
your
else.
boyfriend.
Yeah.
You're going to lose motivation so quickly.
Yeah,
It's got to
again,
come from within.
that happened when she did kind of do it, and then immediately went back to doing her old habits immediately. Not like a couple weeks. It was like immediately.
Yeah.
So.
Yikes.
I never wanted to make her homeless, so this seemed like a good settlement, even though I still had my doubts. I then reaffirmed that I wanted to see other people, but she seemed much more adamant on this issue than the aspirations issue, that she would be able to fix this. She said just give her a month to try and make the relationship work, and asked me again and again on what she could do to make me love her again, and that she didn't want me to hate her. She said that this was the worst part of it all, and the only person that she had just being done. It seemed as if she was about to break down again, so I said, okay, we'll see how the relationship is in a month. In her mind, if I'm allowing her 2 months to get back on her feet, then by a month, she would already be ready to move on. I also didn't want her to suffer a complete mental breakdown while I was still living with her, so giving her a month to let her fix the relationship would give her enough time to accept things. I slept on the couch last night and will probably continue to do so for a while. She came out at about 3 a.m. wanting to talk some more. At 3 a.m.? But I said I was
not sleeping.
Yeah.
She probably can't sleep.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's her only support system right there.
Yeah. And also, like, the person she lives with, like, relies on, doesn't have a job. But I said I was exhausted and we would do it tomorrow. She then slept on the floor beside me for the rest of the night, apologizing again. When I told her to stop, she silently said okay and sobbed for a bit under her blanket. But that's everything that's happened so far. This was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, but I regret nothing and feel much better letting everything out. I don't know how the situation will be in 2 months, but I was firm that it was the deadline. This post will probably get buried, so I probably won't do another update since I don't think anyone will care about this in a week or a month. But I will definitely private message you, blah, 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 blah. There's an update.
Yeah, buddy, we saved the story for the end of the day because it was the longest one we have.
Yeah.
We know you have more to say.
We know you've got more to say. Don't you worry.
Real quick poll.
Yes. Poll.
You got it. What am I going to poll? You got
Break
it.
up with her.
Or?
Don't.
Dude, Sophia and I, right here.
I like, for a second, I was like, do I know what you're, and then I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
I
think you got to break up with her. There's no sense in I understand wanting to give her a second to, find a place to live and find a job and stuff. But I think that conversation needed to be like, you're welcome to stay here for a month while you get back on your feet.
Yeah.
Rather than we could fix the relationship.
Do you think she has put herself in a tight situation?
Absolutely. I mean, she's relying completely on someone else and she has no money, no school, nothing. She doesn't have her family.
Mm-hmm.
She's completely relying on OP and
She wasn't bringing anything to the relationship.
No.
It seemed like.
Well,
that's
that's one thing.
Yeah.
But that's still like,
That's
even if
not
you're
a
bringing that to
relationship.
the relationship, you're not even valuing yourself if you believe that's the only thing you bring to a relationship.
Yeah, that's not a relationship.
No, it's just one aspect.
But just my take as well, it's really hard because I've kind of been in that position where you don't want to hurt this person and you want the best for them. But this is also kind of like leading them on. I think Josephine said it.
Oh, yeah.
If you're leading them on and like, okay, I'll give you the 2 months and we'll be still together, like you're giving them false hope.
Yeah, it's giving her hope that you're not interested in this.
And you're already out of it. It seems like
you were out of it months ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you should just be honest. It sucks for her, but just be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. What would we say? Is that emotional manipulation, kind of? It's not manipulating because you're like, you want them to do it. But
I don't know. I mean, given the thing and he's now coming to this realization, I don't think it's emotional manipulation.
No.
Because they are still trying to figure out how they feel. And they're like, okay, this is how I feel. How can I explain this to this person with the highest amount of consideration knowing they have no other place to go?
Yeah.
So I don't think so.
I don't think it's manipulation, but it's like another word. I just can't think of it. If you know what I'm trying to say, but it's like.
I mean, I think he just wants to leave amicably.
Yes,
but
and she's kind of guilting him into
yeah, but she's at a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anywhere to go right now. But there is an update on July 29th.
I predict that they break up and then she goes crazy mode, and that's the whole story.
And that's
what the whole story is going to be.
She's going to keep using, but you said in 2 months.
Just give me another month. Wait, one more time. I've been doing some self-reflecting, and I think I know how I want to go about this that will help with my lack of communication skills. I know I'm not a perfect person, but I still stand by my decisions I made that night 100% through and through. I might post an update sooner in a week or so, as the day after our fight, I'm filled with a bit more hope than usual. Don't know how long it will last, but better make use of it. But again, just wanted to post this for everyone sharing your stories with me privately, as I can't message you all, as it's been helping me make decisions on what to do about this all immensely. And there is another update.
Okay.
I'm just going to go into that.
Yeah.
This is a long post. Hey y'all, it's been about a week since my last post, and I thought I'd give an update. A lot has happened, including the explosion of my first update thread. I've had over 50 DMs, yada yada yada. I find it easier to write than to speak in many situations, so this has been a great way to help my decisions and clear my head. Writing everything down has helped tremendously, and I will continue to do so, yada yada. After the night confrontation, there we go. This is the start of the update. After the night confrontation, we didn't really speak all too much at home, with it being dry and awkward for a day or two. But I've been told I'm a workaholic by nature, so it was easy for me to stay at the hospital as a distraction. But in that time, she did start to cook again. We weren't in the mood to go out to eat together. Eventually, though, I sat down with her after she asked for a more thorough conversation on why I felt our relationship was failing. She promised not to cry or get upset, but wanted me to be 100% upfront so she had a better way of understanding, stating she wanted to try everything to fix this. I was really apprehensive about this, and I can't really explain why, but given being together for 4 years, 4 years is a long time.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to at least make an effort myself out of respect, even though a large part of me was angry for even doing so, as I feel I've never had the same from her. There have been many different camps in my last update, the main ones being kick her out immediately and leave her before it gets worse, try to find a way to fix our relationship, or end the relationship altogether, but continue living with someone who would probably become absolutely neurotic. If I was going to let her stay for 2 months, I would absolutely not be dealing with that. I took consideration in all these main advice discussions and read through almost every reply, even the most assumptive, bizarre, and downright unhinged Redditor takes. More importantly, I took heavy influence of those who have shared with me their past stories, which either led to them being stuck in loveless relationships for years or eventually being able to overcome their problems and have an even stronger connection. Thank you again for your private messages. I read through a lot of your lives. Now, for our conversation.
Okay, thank goodness.
She said she saw something on TikTok where couples put a phone on a table with a timer and wanted to do something similar for each person to air what made them upset. I said that was dumb. If we were going to talk about our problems, it would be better if there was no time limit. She eventually agreed and said I could go first, asking me first when was the time that I completely lost my love in her. As I said before, it was never one action, but a grating feeling that got worse and worse until it got to this point. And I told her that. So she then asked, when was the time I felt the most angry? I said it would take some time to think for me, and she said that was fine. After a few minutes, something came to my mind. I couldn't formulate the right words at first, but it eventually just started to come out. I told her the worst time was when I first started at my hospital. To keep it short, the tempo was brutal. It was constant work with little to no downtime, as I was constantly learning new things that school would have never taught me, while being expected to be able to handle it as a professional. It was without a doubt the most stressed I've ever been, and I feel like other RNs can relate here. That year hardened the way I think now. That hard work does pay off if you have the drive and passion. I told her I think that was when I was starting to lose feelings the fastest. Seeing her at home doing absolutely nothing. Coming home to no food made, to her not working a job, to her not learning anything, completely stuck to the internet with nothing to show for it.
Yeah, dang. Because you're working your butt off and then your partner's like,
just sitting there. I said it made me even more upset when I had given suggestions for jobs with pretty easy schedules, or to find a new interest in school that would pan out better than last time, only to be rejected at my every attempt. I told her flat out that it disgusted me. She asked me why I didn't make this a bigger issue at the time, that I should have communicated this to her. But I said there's some things that shouldn't have to be said. I shouldn't have to remind her to wash her butt, eat, do something other than mindlessly scroll on her phone for hours a day, every day. Yes, I agree with that, but I also think that when you see a partner who's, just kind of like stuck,
yeah,
I feel like you can go in and say like, hey, I've noticed like, you doesn't seem like you have a passion for anything right now, and I really want you to like find that for yourself.
And getting a little glimpse on how he communicates with his girlfriend. Their girlfriend came up with an idea, hey, let's do this timer thing, and he was like,
he's that dumb.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
That's sort of his communication style. I wish we had a little bit more perspective on his communication style.
Like,
here.
I think she's still in the wrong, or not in the wrong per se.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
Not right for this relationship, but
all he didn't give a lot of
communication, yeah.
warnings. He was just sort of like
he said this has been happening for a while.
Yeah.
Like he thought this a long time ago and didn't bring it up.
They make stop signs really big for a reason.
Yeah. He said he did it like 3 times in let's say 4 years. But none of those were like a serious sit down conversation. It was like I think you should go to school.
Yeah, it wasn't like you need to do this.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be a shift.
Dang.
Like disgusted by her and you didn't bring that up?
Dude, come on.
I also told her that after coming home from the hospital during more stressful days, the last thing I wanted was to spend my time begging my girlfriend to do something productive. So I held my tongue and settled as she was still nice and caring. I had no other reasons to end it, and so the resentment grew worse from then on. It was around here that I became more mean to my regret now, but I was still inputted as I have everything else. I told her that when she dropped nursing, I was upset since I felt that she was more than capable of doing what I had done. But after spending more time in the relationship and spending more time getting to know her, I knew that with the type of person she was, there was no way she could have ever finished.
Shoo.
Damn, that's harsh. Which is why I suggested easier and more laid-back jobs, less demanding majors for school. Crap, even if she just cooked or found an interesting hobby at that point, I would have appreciated it. Still, she chose to do nothing for years. It's just the type of person she was, and why I felt done with her romantically over time. She asked me if I hated her, and I said I didn't know. Oh, ouch.
I don't think he actually hates her. I think he's just done and over her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told her she was very loving and kind, but I hated how she handled her life to this point. That I felt no ill will towards her after airing everything out, but I also felt nothing else. I just felt done and ready to move on. Throughout this conversation, we kept eye contact, and there were times it seems like she would break, but like she said, she remained as calm as she could while I said what I had to say. I told her I was done, and she could say her piece now, but she asked if we can continue the conversation later, and locked herself in her room for the rest of the day. Oh, what a tough conversation. Oh,
what the heck?
Like draining, man. Oh my God.
That is pretty draining. Not a lot of progress was really made.
No. Like I don't know what the solution is here. I mean, or not even the solution. I don't know what the goal is in this conversation.
It's just voicing his
things that he should have voiced ages ago.
Yeah, it's too late.
Too late. Like, I do think they need to break up, but I also think that like communication was a big problem in this relationship.
Yeah, fumbled the bag on that one.
Mm-hmm. The next day, we sat down again and finished the conversation. She told me that she thinks she's depressed, which a lot of you guys in the comments said, saying that she didn't feel sad before that night, just had no motivation to do anything. I had a couple of messages telling me to ask her to get tested for ADHD, but when I started bringing it up, she was very adamant that it is not something she's felt comfortable with. I knew she didn't like needles or going to the hospital in general, but her flat out refusing to get tested for disorders when I told her it was not at all like a regular hospital visit surprised me. She asked me if she was able to change in her behaviors, would I give her another chance? I said I didn't know, as I felt nothing right now and didn't know if her doing it would bring back any feeling, especially since it took my breaking point to do so. She asked if there was any compromise, and I told her again, if in a month I felt like there was a reason enough to stay together, I would, but that there was no guarantee that my feelings would return, but I would match any effort she also put out. She was frustrated by my answer, but I said that's how it would be. She gave me a piece of paper to look at that she was working on last night that had a list of hobbies and interests she wanted to look into, the 2 major ones being photography and cooking again. She told me that she was looking into these while also showing me her phone, giving proof that she was putting in applications on Indeed and Glassdoor for some entry-level positions that she might get hired in. Again, this is just like, it needs to be self-motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is I think he needs to stop saying like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll change my mind."
Yeah.
The false hope. False hope.
Just
False
don't.
hope. False
Just
hope.
don't.
What I would do in this situation is I like to kind of separate like sometimes whenever I talk to Angie, I'm like, you're talking to a friend right now?
Yeah.
You're not talking to your boyfriend.
Yeah.
And in this situation, it's like you're talking to your boyfriend, and I feel like he needs to bring it down to a level like, I'm talking to you as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to figure out your life so you're not stuck here, because this is unmaintainable.
Yup.
And he's just sort of like, he's not really helpful. I mean, I understand he's out, but I just think they just need
the type of conversation that I don't know. I feel like he's not having a conversation that would lead, I don't know. Like, he's saying that he wants to get back together with her, but this conversation is not saying that.
Yeah.
He's shown that he doesn't want to get back together.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. This conversation is showing that he really does not want to get back together. So it's like two different things going on here.
Yeah, he made his choice.
Yeah.
A mediator
choice.
would be nice.
Yeah.
Like a couples counselor or something. Just sort of like, I don't know, because this is not productive at all.
It's not productive. This is not a productive conversation. Just break up with her. If you want to break up with her, you should have done it like ages ago.
Yes.
I told her if she was able to show enough passion or interest in these hobbies that she showed, I would not care about her working, just anything to improve herself. I also just hate the idea of like, oh, you need to impress me to stay together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, I don't know. The Kim Kwan says self-motivation is not the only way, Sophia. Not all of us are able to self-motivate, and it is okay until you're able to love yourself enough to do it for yourself. For sure, but I think at some point, just doing it for someone else, like it should eventually be self-motivated. Like,
yeah, true.
It shouldn't just be for the love and validation of someone else, because that love and validation is not, it's not given unconditionally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Harriet Spaghetti, I've been where his GF is. Were you depressed? But I haven't pursued dating for that reason. I don't want to put myself in a relationship when I'm not even living my life as a person I want to be. That too. I feel like in order to like put yourself out there, you want to be the best version of yourself, or you even want to be like, dateable.
Yeah.
Like, dude, a year and a half ago, me? No. Gosh, no. But yeah,
Man.
this is so. It's just like seeing.
I don't
like
either of these people now.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm like, well, I mean, like
It's like watching a dog die slowly. A little puppy dying.
Very,
not even
like
a puppy.
He's kicking her.
Yeah.
I'm doing it with love and harsh words. That's what it seems
harsh.
like. Yeah.
So harsh. Ew. But if she didn't do anything at all, then it would be best to look for a new job to help her if she moves out. Oh, I've also been asked in private messages if I have any personal friends to talk to. There's 2 female coworkers I confide some information in, given how many hours we work together at our hospital, and who I completely trust, as in my opinion, they're extremely grounded.
Uh-oh, I see you.
They both said I would eventually get love bombed, and this would all go back to how it once was, and that I needed to stand firm with moving on. Yes, move on. They're very helpful friends who have even offered to let me stay over for a few nights, giving the reason that I would fall for her manipulation if I continued being anywhere near her, in their own words. But it didn't feel right, since I'm still technically in a relationship, that I said I would consider it if the situation worsened. But again, I find them grounded, so I always try to take their advice to heart. Despite numerous messages from you all, privately or openly telling me that this will be a mistake, I want to make the attempt to give this one last try. Though I feel heavily closed and guarded, and still feel indifferent with our current situation, but a lot of you have told me this can eventually change with enough work from both parties. No, stop.
I don't think you even want this for yourself,
man.
You
don't want this. Stop.
You're trying to turn into a woman that she's not right now.
Yeah, she can't be that right now.
She can't.
I've also taken the advice of those saying to cut off spicy sleep, which was my intention from the start anyway, by continuing to sleep in the living room. But each day she has been sleeping on the floor right below me, even when I tell her I'd rather be alone with my thoughts, telling me this is something she would not accept. Dude, just break up with her. Ugh. And Emma1408, thank you for the $5. He said it was his breaking point that took her trying to change, yet didn't communicate prior about his feelings unless I zoned out during that.
Yeah. And then we got Josephine. dono that relates to this story if you want to pull that up real quick on the top.
Josephine, thank you for the 65 sec. She sounds like she might have BPD or just normally strong abandonment issues, and giving her false hope and leading her on can make it worse for her. Yes,
100%,
absolutely.
which it is.
It's actively making it worse for her. But that's everything so far. Next update will probably be at the month mark, as there's nothing else I feel like I need to say for now. And there are some other updates.
16 days later.
16 days later.
Okay. I just hope for a little inkling of positivity in this next update.
I just want them to break up. This
Get
is
it
not
over
healthy.
with.
Please.
Gosh.
Stop dragging it out.
Like, it's funny because he's wanting her to change, but I don't think OP's changing at all either.
No, it's just like stuck. Everyone's stuck here.
Everyone's complacent.
Everyone's complacent here.
I'll be an a-hole to you because you're just not doing anything, which is making me be an a-hole.
Yeah, it's like
it's just,
why would you want to treat your partner like that?
It's rinse, repeat, recycle at this point, with false hope.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But they're.
I kind of want to stop reading it.
I know, this is just sad. just depressing. But there is another update.
Yeah, don't you guys like how I started the first story really positive? And
yeah, the first story was so happy.
I know, that's how I got you.
Oh, Jinx, thinking about buying my husband a membership. He's a psych major. Just watch together and get him a membership.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Susan S., I love seeing Riley and Sophia together. You guys work well together.
Dude, I am going to say with the thing happening in like a week or so, you'll see more. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't even know what's how. I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
The thing
I don't know
told you
what's going on
earlier.
here.
You'll have to tell me again.
Okay. All right.
You do know.
But we are pretty effective.
Yeah. Title, first week. Hello, a lot has happened in the past 2 weeks. It's actually felt more like a month with how much has gone down.
So it is the month mark.
It's like the month is up. I'm done. To those I have DM'd with on Reddit about my situation, sorry I have not been replying. My girlfriend was very proactive last week.
All right.
It was a manic influx of energy as she tried to get interested in many different things that she thought she could enjoy. I kept my promise in meeting her halfway and tried my best at helping her in whatever way I could. The only real interest that she's been mainly sticking with is photography. I've said before that she has a stockpile of clothes that she's had over the years, and she sold a few of them on Depop in order to get enough money to get a Canon 250 camera that she says is good for starting out.
Okay.
She's looked a lot more into this than me. I strongly assume she's stuck with this hobby as it gave her a chance to spend more time with me, as she continued asking me to go out into the city to take pictures and test out her camera. Given that I had promised to match her energy and didn't want to be a hypocrite, I did so even when I came home from longer shifts at the hospital.
He's keeping his word.
Yeah. There was a major change in her behavior, however. While she usually was a very loving, affectionate partner, it had been turned up to its max during the first week. She asked me maybe 8 times a day how I was doing, if I was upset, what I wanted to do for the rest of the day, just trying to gauge my mood. When we went out, her PDA was also maxed. She wanted to kiss, hold hands, and spend the night out as long as possible, even when I said I had to go in early to work the next day. It's hard to describe in words what she was doing. I don't know if it was exactly love bombing, but with the energy she's putting out, I was fully expecting a crash to come, and it did during the second week.
Yeah, dude.
When you say, I want, like, you have to change or we're breaking up, and we already know this person is, like, having a lot of issues, she's gonna take that heart. Just
look at Riley's hat.
Yeah, please.
Or dump each other.
Dump each other.
Yeah, she needs to dump him at this point with what the roller coaster. He's like a chemist. He's like, do this. Oh, it exploded.
Yeah.
That's not what I wanted.
Ay. There was only so much I could handle before I needed a break, especially with how I was still feeling after everything that happened prior. My friends at work are the only other people I have been engaging with, and I've told them everything that has been happening.
Oh, that's so healthy. Especially probably that one girl you think is super grounded and you take their advice to heart.
They warned me again that I was getting love bombed like they predicted, and it would only get worse. They asked me what I would do if I was stuck with her longer than 2 months, and I said my lease would be ending soon, so it was helping ease my mind, as I wouldn't mind moving if this all turned out for the worse, while still giving her enough time of a heads up. They stated their concerns, that I was coming to work more tired than usual and it was getting noticeable, but I told them that I felt fine. During the weekend, they had insisted that I go out with them to help my mood, stating that too much time in my apartment was not good for my health in this current situation. I declined when first offered, but after being asked again the day of, I agreed, and for most of the day, I was with them having a really good time. In fact, it helped to regain my mood considerably. Naturally, my girlfriend was wondering where I had been on the entire day, but I told her I had been with friends, and even though she was disappointed we couldn't go out for the day, I promised her we would spend all day tomorrow together. That is not helping.
Yeah,
this is not
no.
helping. This is not helping.
Ugh.
You're just going to be upset that you have to spend all your time with her.
And then
that's going to be the new problem.
And then she brought me to the city.
And then she made me hang out with her all day.
And she cooked me food, and then
she was love bombing me, and it sucked.
And I didn't want to eat that food because it was my favorite. Oh my gosh.
I get continued messages that I should immediately drop my friends and that they are manipulating me and my decisions.
Oh, wow.
And think what you may, I know they're good people who look out for me. They played a large part in me quitting smoking this year, which although that has made me anxious at times, has helped me with my health considerably. There's a different type of bond you form with people in our work environment, and I trust my coworkers with my life, for a lack of a better term. Anyway, that's most of what happened the first week. Putting everything for the second week would triple this post, and it's hard looking back on it as it happened so recently and I still feel heavily raw. But yeah, thank you for your messages, and I'll try to reply to those of you I promise to keep updated for more relevant details. And there is an update.
All right.
This is the 2 month.
2 month mark.
2 month mark.
If they're not broken up, I'm going to scream. I'm so frustrated right now. I'm so frustrated with this man. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand his logic. The thing that killed me
to break up with her. What did you say?
The thing that killed me was I need you to put more effort, more.
Yeah.
She did that. And it's like, I think she's love bombing me.
Too much.
That's what killed me the most.
It's ridiculous.
I still want to break up with her.
Obviously,
like, bro, just break up.
Yeah, she is not in the right here. But coming from just a purely looking at the situation,
yeah,
she was feeling complacent, or she was complacent. She was going through depressive episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, I need you to change or I'm breaking up with you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to monitor your change over the 2 months or I'm breaking up with you.
And it doesn't seem like.
And so she's like, I need to do as much as I possible to keep you.
And of course she's going to do that because she has no one else speaking into her life since. And you're speaking this nonsense into her.
Yeah. And you're telling her that there is a chance. Just break up with her. Just break up with her.
Does she know that lease is ending in 2 months? That's what I want to know.
He said that he would tell her. But there is an update 2 months later. Hi. This is a very long post, just as a forewarning. Right, we know. Cool. I've been holding back posting this for a while, as whenever I've been getting to write, I cannot continue without having to stop. But now that over a month has passed, I think now is the best time to reflect. There might be parts in this post that don't make too much sense chronologically, but given that I've been writing and taking breaks over multiple attempts, some past tense might be off as to where I began and left off. When I said the crash of emotions would come, I was right. It was ugly, loud, and could have been easily prevented in parts. When I posted my last update, I was not in the right mental state, so reflecting on the week before and writing helped to calm my nerves. I'm also a bit embarrassed to admit that I started to smoke a bit again. But it also helped tremendously in my mental state, which was getting close to crashing as of recent, and without the help of my friends, I didn't have much else to turn to. This breakdown was something I could not tell them since I didn't want them stepping in. There has been a point where my girlfriend was in a not so well mood during one of our outings to the city. After returning home, she had said I was being dismissive and if I felt angry or upset with her. Trying to be better with communicating, I said that I was getting uncomfortable with her constant need of affirmation and affection, as it was continually constant. Given that she was still sleeping in the living room at night, I was getting no time alone to myself at all while at home, and after so many outings, I was starting to get physically and emotionally drained.
Why is she still your girlfriend, bro?
I don't get it.
This doesn't make any sense.
I don't get it. Truthfully, I felt physically tired more than anything. And given what my coworkers and my girlfriend say, it tends to show on my face more worse than it is. My girlfriend seemed to take this heavily and didn't attempt to talk with me for the remainder of the day, along with the next, but was in a much more brooding mood during the second. Maybe it would have been better to apologize or communicate better during that point, as it might have been the point that a lot of this could have been avoided if I said something. That is the moral of this story. But instead, I took the time to nap and spend time alone, which I had rarely the chance to for over a week. Then came the third day. A lot happened over the course of this day, and a lot was said, and this was where the breaking point occurred, which caused further problems throughout the following week. I will try to be as thorough as I can remember everything that happened from the start of the day to the end. When I had woken up, I had left without saying goodbye or speaking to my girlfriend as I was almost running late. Normally, I at least check in on her to see what she's doing before I leave. She has been sleeping in our room for the last few days since her mood dropped. My mood was higher than usual during work, as I was rested, had my alone time, and was just genuinely having a nice time at the hospital, which doesn't happen too often. There were a few times when my coworkers would go out to eat after work, and for the past few weeks I had been declining, but on this given day I joined them, which led to me arriving home around 9 or later. It was pretty late, and I had a few drinks. This is where I begin to have trouble writing, and where I usually stop. Arriving home, I see my girlfriend sitting down in the living room, looking at me directly as I walked in, not saying a word. It startled me, and I asked what she had been doing, as she wasn't on her phone, nor was she watching TV, just sitting as if she was staring at a wall before I had entered. She asked me where I had been, and I said I was out with friends. She immediately asked, were they my friends from work? My girlfriend is aware that I work alongside mostly women, and I have brought up my friends in the past before our relationship broke down to this point. I said yes. I was with them and we had gone out to eat. She asked me if I had been drinking as well. I don't know if it was noticeable or not, or just a random question, but I said that I had. There was a period of uncomfortable silence that felt a lot longer in memory. She eventually brought up my month deadline on whether my feelings would change, and she asked if they had. It took me a minute to reply, as that question had taken me off guard, and I said I appreciated her efforts in what she was doing, but I was still unsure of our future together and couldn't give her a direct answer.
Oh my freaking gosh.
This guy's a monster. I think Caitlin said it the best.
These two are like toxically like intertwined.
Yes.
Like they just can't.
Yep, I'll say it again. He is keeping her around so he doesn't feel bad for leaving her, or to get some sick ego boost from her affection.
Yeah. They both need each other for different reasons, and it's exhausting because every time she says, "Are you like have I done enough? Have I done enough?" He's like, maybe. No, just
I'll look
say
into
no.
it.
Just say no.
Say no. Get out of there.
Get out of there.
The
Why
fact that
are
he
you
keeps
doing this?
referring to her as his girlfriend. There is no relationship here, bro.
No.
There is no relationship. This is like
really
Parasite.
ridiculous.
This is definitely
Parasite.
Yeah. Dude, this is fucking crazy.
She told me again that during our outings together that I was being dismissive and that she felt I wasn't putting in the same effort to make this relationship work. I asked what she meant, as I was going out with her whenever she asked and matching her effort in finding hobbies whenever she thought of something she enjoyed. To me, it just seemed like something she was just saying out of neediness. I think it was at this point she started to lose her composure, as her voice couldn't remain constant. She told me if I was aware that I wasn't smiling when we were outside, that I was quiet and rarely talked when we were spending time together. I told her she already knew how I felt, so for some of it, my mixed feelings shouldn't come as a surprise. But I also explained again my lack of talking was just from being tired from work. But I don't think she believed me. She told me she's constantly overthinking how I feel now that she knows I lost feelings and doesn't know what she can do to make them come back. I told her again to just find a passion for something, anything, to get out of bed and be active with anything in her life. Stop it. This is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Because that's not going to make it, like if she found a passion, that wouldn't fix the problems in your relationship.
Oh gosh,
it is too far gone to fix the problems in your relationship.
Yeah.
Sure, she might need to find a passion, but that's a separate issue from your relationship.
And I also think the reason he's going out is because there's girls, and he's probably getting even more attention from that. Because you all know how we like a good goss. We come here every day to commune over some goss. And that's probably why he likes it. He's getting attention from that too.
I mean, it's frustrating when you're actively going to your friends, complaining about this relationship that you're still in.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
He's definitely like, anytime she brings up something like, "Oh, am I doing the things that you want?" He's annoyed by it.
Yeah.
He's like, "I told you to do this, but
it's just
I'll think about it though."
Yeah. I'll keep telling you you're doing it and I like it, but I can't give you a definitive answer.
At this point, he's leading her on because
that's
she's
the worst
saying,
part.
"Oh, like we've reached the 2 months," and he's like, "Well, I'm
and
not
now
sure."
it's hitting her. Like he's just leading me on.
Yeah.
She says it's been 2 weeks and she's been active as she can possibly be, to the point that it was causing her mental stress. But my mood wasn't improving, and she's wondering if anything will actually change now that it's closer to a month. And then came the full breakdown. Through tears and a broken voice, she tells me how much she loves me, how much affection and love she has given me throughout this relationship, just for me to throw it away over something as stupid as my conditions, as if it was just an excuse to end things. if I really loved her at all while we were together. She goes on to say that even with how upset she is at me and how hurt and betrayed she has felt by the one person she has, that she still loves me and wants to continue a relationship. She
just doesn't have anyone else.
She tells me there will be nothing for her if I leave. No one, no place, no future. Her will to live will be gone and she won't know what to do with herself. That's the thing. She also doesn't love you. She just needs you. And that's different. Ugh. Now, there's a lot I could have said during this, but I don't think I can accurately convey just how hard she was breaking down emotionally during this exchange. There are points as to where she was almost screaming, completely bawling, and it all just made me freeze, as this was the first time I've ever witnessed her fall apart at this level. Yeah, Lovely Fawn says they are sickly codependent. Yeah. She goes on again to say there's no reason to live. Oh, if this is the end, it won't matter what job she gets. Another month will not be enough, and she knows I still want to be with her, and that she will have nothing. After everything was said, she locked herself again in her room and stayed there for a few more days. Whenever I tried to knock to initiate conversation, she screamed for me to go away, and I did. Ugh. A few days later, she had finally calmed down enough to where we could speak to each other, and she changed her attitude 180. She was still upset, but extremely apologetic in what she did and said, telling me that a lot of it was just in the moment and she didn't mean it.
I think she's just trying to keep her a place to live and just trying to keep her safety.
She's having a breakdown. She's having a breakdown. And you saying that you still want to be with her, or maybe still want to be with her, is hurting so much more.
Yeah, this is wild. This is wild. This is why you have a support group, why you have friends, why you don't put yourself in a situation where you're just dependent on your partner super, super big like this. Or if you do, that they're a better person than this guy. Oh my gosh.
The days that I was finally able to spend alone without her or my friends gave me the mental strength to finally do what I should have a month ago.
Gosh.
Finally. I told her as gently and calmly as I could that it was over, that there was no chance that we could be together at this point, and I no longer wanted to be in a relationship. I told her I would let her stay for an additional 2 months until she could find a job and help her get on her feet. And by the way, you can help us get on our feet by joining us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. There is a little bit more to this story. Daphne says, let's be honest, she got her needs taken care of, a place to stay, and emotional needs. She's dependent on him and now is going to lose everything and doesn't know how to take care of herself.
Yeah, because she has a horrible relationship with her parents.
Yeah.
She has nowhere else to go.
Friends, it seems.
And she's doing this to keep herself afloat because she has no money, no support system at all. It's just him.
Yeah. This is a terrible relationship on both ends.
Oh my gosh.
Ay.
I
don't even like literally the only solution here is to break up.
Yeah, break up.
But let's see if they do. I also said if she was unable to do anything by that time, then I would be gone and moved out. She started to cry again, but in a much more defeated manner that almost made me break myself. But she agreed to the terms and it was finally done. She was able to get a job at a supermarket about a week afterwards.
Like I said earlier, sometimes you need a very difficult thing to happen to you in order for you to make progress yourself.
But only part-time at first, as that was all they were offering. After our final confrontation, our speaking terms were more or less dead. Whenever she was off at work, she would be in her room alone for the remainder of the day and night. I had stayed on the couch, as at this point I was pretty much used to it and didn't really mind it. It feels really wrong and selfish to say, but I feel extremely free and happy for a bit. I didn't inform my coworkers about my breakup when it happened and just continued to vaguely say that we were working on it. But during that time, I frequently started going out a lot more with them after work, as staying in our apartment felt more like a chore and depressing.
Wonder why you started going out with them more.
I had hit what?
Because he works in a female-dominant workplace.
I honestly don't think it's that. I think it's just like...
I don't know.
His home environment is draining.
His home environment is draining.
I understand that, but I just don't think that this guy has emotional...
I don't think he has emotional intelligence.
Yeah, at all. And I think he's I don't know. I think he's using this as an escape. Like, oh, I still have a chance with these other girls. That's what he's just scum of the earth kind of guy. I don't know.
I had hit a high that I had not felt in a long while, and then everything came crashing on me the following week. I had contracted pneumonia.
Good.
I don't know about that. Keon.
No, dude, this guy, he told
he
her
deserves pneumonia.
Nah, dude, this guy sucks. This guy really sucks.
And was off work for about 2 weeks to recover. At first, I thought I had caught a cold, but one day it hit like a brick, and my lungs felt at 50% capacity.
Okay, not that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All
Come on,
right. I don't know. Maybe.
I couldn't take a deep breath without going into a fit of coughing, and I constantly felt fatigued. Even now, as I write this update with most of my symptoms gone, I still have to use an inhaler to help me breathe at times. For most of the days that I had been sick, I was sleeping. Most days between 12 to 14 hours, and the time that I was awake, I was lying down. When I told her what I had contracted and she saw how sick I was, she offered to let me have the bedroom again, but I refused and said that I was fine. Since she was working part-time, there was still a lot of time that she was spending at home, and for the first few days, she left me alone. But towards the middle of the first week, I was sick. She started to occasionally check on me to see if I was okay and if I wanted anything to eat. Honestly, I hated that me being sick forced us to interact, not because I was mad or anything, but because it felt incredibly awkward and weird, and that I had to depend on her now for a few things, not even a week after we had broken up.
How the turn freaking tables, dude.
I didn't feel well enough to get groceries like I normally did, and since she already worked at a supermarket, she insisted that she buy food instead. And when I gave her my card, she refused and said she would buy it herself. For the most part, I was snacking on fruit and cookies, but she said if I was going to get better, that I eat actual meals, so she began to cook for me.
Oh my God.
Even when I said I didn't want anything.
Stop. Can we just stop reading?
I'm like
keep going.
scared.
This is like a horror
I'm like
movie,
so
guys.
scared.
This is a horror freaking movie.
Like she's got a
pendulum
job.
is swinging.
She's cooking for him. She's got the photography. Even with this, we didn't eat together for the first week as she went back to her room after checking on me. But during the start of the second week of being home, she started to sit down with me while I was awake and talk with me. She told me about her day at work and her coworkers and a bunch of other stuff. It felt like a lot of it were things she wanted to tell me earlier but couldn't because everything was still raw. But when she started to talk, she didn't stop, and honestly, I enjoyed listening to her talk about her day because it felt different.
No.
This is like when this is like watching a horror movie and you know that
it's a horror movie.
The evil clown is about to attack someone. It went from talking to us watching TV together during nights that I couldn't fall asleep, to us just talking about our issues that we've been holding to ourselves for a while. It was extremely cathartic, and there was no yelling or arguing, just listening. It felt a way that we hadn't talked in a long time, not since from before we got together years ago when we were friends and classmates.
Stop. Literally stop.
I still need to break up. Sometime during the second week, I had hit a point where I felt extremely ill and didn't want to talk or do anything, but I couldn't sleep either because I kept coughing. She didn't go to work that day and stayed beside me for a long while. We didn't talk at all, but she made sure I was still eating and drinking water. There's a lot that can be said on how those 2 weeks made me feel about my situation with her and everything that has happened, but I can't convey them in words, much less writing, but I'll just say it was a lot of time to think. Since I've recovered, I've been trying to make a bigger effort to talk with her, but at the same time, not trying to make it feel forced as it may have felt a month ago. Just random conversations about random things, about how our photos were going, how work was doing, if she liked her boss, just whatever. She spent less time in her room and more time in the living room with me when I had gotten home, just talking about her day and work, customers and coworkers, and in turn, I told her about my day. Gradually within these weeks, it felt as if the transition of being in a relationship to being friends was a lot more apparent, and it feels better and more organic this way as it's become easier to communicate. Okay.
I think that's what
I
he thinks.
don't know. I'm
It's
giving
what
him the
he
benefit
thinks.
of the doubt.
Okay.
This is the only time I'll give him a benefit of the doubt.
I think it's what he thinks, though, guys.
Okay,
I really
possibly.
think this is what he thinks, not what she thinks.
Okay. Could be okay. Even still, though, there is a barrier between us, something that formed from our final argument, and it's hard to describe exactly what it is, but it's there. Well, obviously, you guys are exes. The deadline that I had formed for me moving out is at the end of October, as that's when my lease ends. I'll post another update around that time. This post has turned a lot longer than I thought, but it's nice looking back on everything and seeing how our situation has been changing for the better. If you're still around reading this, we are. Thanks for the continued messages regarding my situation. Sorry if I couldn't reply.
Is that it?
In the meantime.
Is that it?
And that is it.
Here's my hot take.
Yeah. What's your hot take?
Just sounded like she needed to find a job in order for them to be okay. Because once she got a job,
everything was fine.
Everything's fine. She just didn't have anything she had responsibilities for.
Yeah.
And I think that, honestly, if at that, whenever he had that first hard conversation with her,
like, hey, you need to get a job.
Get a job.
I need help financially.
This probably would have been okay.
Probably would have been fine.
Because now he has more respect for her.
Yeah.
And it's like a regular relationship.
And she kind of did it for herself because he was like, you have to move out. So she's like, well, I need money to move out.
I just think she needed a job. That's my hot take on this.
Man.
I think if she would have gotten a job whenever they talked, they could still be they could incline. They could have
You guys cannot get back together though.
No,
literally don't get back together.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Please don't.
Use what you learned for the next relationship.
Yeah.
Don't use it for this one, please. Because
Caitlin
it seems
Van
like you're
Camp
actually
it.
doing better.
This is literally what my ex did to me. It's not going to
It's
be
not
okay.
gonna be okay. It's not gonna be
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Please leave.
Yeah.
Oh man.
There's a
Man,
couple
oh, man.
updates. Hold on.
Couple of updates. Oh boy, you might have to put them all in a Google Doc. Sorry, Sophia. But goodness gracious.
My back. What a tale. What a tale.
A tall tale. You're still like, don't get back together.
Don't get back together. I think that they should use what they've learned to like move on.
Yeah.
I think it's good that they're, amicable. I think
They could
that's
be
always better to
friends.
be healthy, like have a healthy relationship. Now that we have broken up and I feel that tensions have eased, I spoke to my work friends again about what happened. Though I left the words about ending her life, among other things, out as I didn't want them to act. Given our situation was already better, there was no need to bring it up. Both my friends chastised me, telling me everything that they predicted to happen did happen, that she did love bomb me, and that she did break down. They were angry that I didn't break up with her sooner, but in the end, were happy for me that it was over. They asked me what my plans were now, and I said I was already planning on leaving at the end of October and already had a new place in mind. They asked me if she was also okay with it, though I just responded that she knew that I was leaving, and I didn't ask what she was planning on doing afterwards. They tell me that she's going to ask to continue being roommates even if we're not together, saying that there's no way she can afford rent on her own with the current job that she has. They ask me what I'm going to plan to do if she asks me to continue living together, and I didn't have a response to that because I honestly don't know. I know it's easy to say that I should just leave and not worry about how she'll live after the end of October, and I know those who tell me this are looking after me with good intentions, but I still know that she has no contact with parents, no friends, and no real savings. A large part of me wishes I didn't know any of this and was in ignorance, but I know there was a very high chance she'll be in a bad situation in terms of housing. And no matter how many people tell me I have no obligation or to stop having a savior complex, it just does not feel right. So I've told myself this after a lot of deliberation. If she doesn't ask me for help, if she doesn't ask to continue living together as roommates, then I will let it be done and I will not reach out a hand. But if she does ask to live together on a monthly basis until I can see that she's able to rent on her own, then I will accept and I'll leave it at that. With all that said though, now that we're done romantically, I can't see myself ever going back as I've already started to look outwards. I know this may seem like a mistake, and I don't think anything I've done has been perfect, as some can tell obviously, but I'm going by what I think is right, and given that I feel that I'm in a better place now, I'm going to continue with it. But yeah, that's all I have to say for now.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, you can take that off.
That's just a rant.
Oh,
He just has a rant. Hold
oh
on.
man. Nah, I don't need to read that rant.
We're not reading your
Not
rant,
reading it.
dude.
We
We've
don't
already
wanna
read
read your-
so much of
we
your
read your
frickin'
whole
rant.
frickin'
Just like his
7K
little
rant.
thing here. I'll post again when I feel like there's enough to be read and enough time to think rationally and not emotionally.
He did say
about
he likes
transpired
to-
events, and no, there would be no TLDRs. F you.
Damn,
This guy
okay.
sucks.
F you, dude.
Guy
Now,
sucks.
you know what he's doing now? He's doing that to us.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, now I can get attention from
We're
Reddit.
trauma bonded now. Good. Yeah, don't get back with her. Don't live with her. Stop.
Get
please.
out of there. Get
Please.
out of there, please.
Please.
Goodness gracious.
But that is the end of that story.
That is the end of that
That's
story.
the end of that long, long story.
I hooked you guys in with a happy one, and we left off on a really
yeah, dude,
sad
thanks,
note.
Keon. Thanks. He's the one that found all these stories. Thanks, Keon. I hope
Thanks,
you're happy
Keon.
with yourself.
But
Yeah,
if you love us,
get in there.
make
yeah.
sure to subscribe. We love you.
And
see you tomorrow.